Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be on to something.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nest.
Hey, never a dull moment, right, everybody? How you feeling today? Everybody's making the connection. Maybe not everybody. The Kessler pad grab, and now the puck barely over the line. Just misery in Anaheim for your Edmonton Oilers. Over and over again. Well, about every 10 years, except for 2006. Yeah, so plenty to discuss today. The Oilers are on the brink of elimination. As we in the sports broadcasting industry like to say, tomorrow it's an 8 o'clock game at Rogers Place. Now, of course, we have a lot of Oilers discussion on this show. Tomorrow we're wall to wall for what could be the final Oilers game day of the 2025/26 season. Could be the final day, the final game. Is this going to be it? 6 a.m. tomorrow, it all starts with the Nielsen Show. Coverage all the way through to puck drop. So tomorrow for this show, we'll extend it until 6:30 again. And then Tom Gazzola will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30 tomorrow night. As for what's coming up today, Drew Remenda is on the show, friend of the program, always keeps a keen eye on what the Oilers are doing. Gord Stellick is going to join us as well from SiriusXM. And at some point before 6 o'clock, Jay will have adjusted the height of his chair. How you doing, buddy?
Oh,
Jay, if you're watching us, first
fantastic.
of all, several ways to consume us: iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. We're also on YouTube. So if you're on one of the audio streaming platforms, I'll describe what's happening. Jason Milne up out of his chair, squirming around. Is that a different chair for you today?
No, but
You look like the Oilers trying to break out of their own zone.
good one. No, something's askew. Something's not
I think because
right.
a Wannock sat in it.
Yeah.
He persnickety up the chair.
I feel like you on our first show when you were...
My chair was too low. I didn't even know it. And people were saying, like, Reid, your chair is really low.
I look like
And I
such
was
a little
like,
guy.
Is it? Well, I am a little guy. I'm quite short.
No, I look like a little guy.
No, you're not a... What are you, like 6'4"?
6'18".
Barely fit through the door. That was the one reason you almost didn't take the job. It's like, well, I don't know if I can fit into the office, Dustin.
So constrained in
Other
that
than
office.
Other than that, I want the job. You're wearing your Ride the Lightning Metallica t-shirt.
Yeah, why not?
Somebody always asking in the old Gil asking in the Nazi chat, are you a Tampa fan, Jay?
Ride the Lightning. No, I'm a Metallica fan.
You're a Metallica fan, hoping to give the Oilers a little bit of energy. They could use a lightning jolt, couldn't they? They could use being struck by lightning.
They could use something.
They could use some electricity
Yes.
in the lineup.
Yes. Maybe something that would cure or give them a killer instinct. Maybe they need bones. You know, dog tags? They used to do that. Get the boys riled up.
Sorry, what happened?
Maybe give them some bones.
Who's got bones?
The Oilers, they need bones. Dogs on bones.
Oh, right. Did you do this at the U of A?
Maybe.
You'd give each other bones?
Yeah.
As a reward or as an inspiration?
Both. Yeah.
You never told me about this.
Yeah. It's the bone of the day.
So after practice, that's hey, Jason Milne, is that the bone of the day in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
No, we never gave each
my
other
goodness.
bones. I just this team needs a fire lit under their collective bums.
Well, maybe they're just not that good. Maybe they are trying as hard as they can.
Yeah, maybe they are. But the problem is that you and I and the Coob and everybody listening and watching has seen better versions of this team.
Well, sure.
Teams that can actually defend. But it's gone missing. It's on the milk carton. Oilers' ability to defend.
Well, they didn't have it most of the year, to be fair.
But it looked like things were coming together.
Yeah,
right?
a little
at the
bit.
right
Yeah,
time.
a little bit. Yeah,
At
a
the end
little
of the
bit.
regular season.
So the Oilers have lost the last 3 games, 4-3 last night in Ducks in overtime. A lot of discussion about the overtime goal. Of course, a very close play with a lot of discussion about how the decision was made. What do we have? 2 games coming up tonight. Flyers with another chance to finish off the Penguins, and the Mammoth in Vegas getting back at it. Almost forgot about that series because haven't they gone like Sunday, Tuesday, and then Friday, and now Monday? They've had a couple breaks in that series. Blue Jays starting a series against the Red Sox. The Red Sox, the only team behind the Blue Jays in the American League East. A little bit of a glimmer here for the Blue Jays, how they've played over the last couple of series. So we'll touch on all those things as we move along throughout the course of the afternoon. Okay, well, let's hear it, buddy. I mean, everybody else on Edmonton Sports Talk has talked a lot about the Ducks game-winning goal. Mm-hmm. You're often the last one to get on air after things like this happen, at least for our station. So what have you been stewing over?
Well, the goal call was correct, Reid. But the process of how they got there was not handled properly, in my opinion. And Reid, this is all, hindsight's 2020 hypotheticals. I understand that. However, I just don't know how any of those referees or linesmen could make a decision on the ice that says we've got a good goal and then kick it upstairs, which is part of the process. Sure, it's going to be reviewed anyways. And at that point, because it's called a goal on the ice, that handcuffs the league quite a bit because now they have to prove the otherwise. And if you've said it's a goal on the ice, which, look, part of me's happy as well, Reid, that common sense prevailed. My God, what an amazing idea. That puck is over the line. I think you said it earlier. Unless it grew a nipple as it was crossing the line, that puck's over the line, okay? And here's the thing, is what I always like to do is reverse the situation. If that goal was scored on Lucas Dostal, and the Oilers say that's a goal, and everybody would, come on, of course that's a goal. Yeah. You'd have to be a lunatic to think that's not a goal. And I'm fortunate that common sense prevailed there. However, the process, Reid, the process, and I know we're going to talk about the referee in the game and how that was handled.
Yeah,
that was the thing I had an issue with.
Yeah, and I mean, I've talked to some people that I trust and that I consider extremely knowledgeable about refereeing and officiating, more than one person. And they have generally agreed that there was a bit of a breakdown in the process. That the right call was ultimately made, which is, I think, important to remember.
Yes.
But that it was, I mean, the people I talked to were, at the very least, found it very curious that the call on the ice was a goal. Given the position of, what was his name, Jake Brink, and we'll have more on him a little bit later on, the official who was coming down from Jarry's left, the offensive right wing, the defensive left side, and was looking and then came behind the net and really didn't do anything. And then you could see after he sort of waved the play dead, he looked up immediately for help, and the two linesmen came in. One person I talked to today said, usually a ref in that situation, and let's face it, the refs know it's playoffs. They know it's in Anaheim. They know the stakes. It's either 2-2 or 3-1. If they think there's a goal, they're going to emphatically be in the moment pointing at the net, that the puck's over the line.
Right.
So that was perhaps unusual that didn't happen, since he then later said, I got a good goal on the ice. If somebody brought up the point to me, Connor Murphy is reaching into the net with a black stick. Could have that made him think that he saw more of the puck over the line than he thought of. So yeah, that was curious that the call on the ice was a goal, given how difficult it appered to see that it was a goal. Now, as much as I think Oilers fans will have frustration about, well, why are they meeting? What's taking so long? Unfortunately, that's normal, and I don't think that should be frowned upon. I mean, I would sooner have refs discuss it as opposed to one guy saying like, no, I got it.
Yeah.
And this may seem, now, the people I talked to were not on the ice. They're sharing their experience and their view of it and telling me what's normal or what could be happening. But somebody said to me, so in that situation, maybe the ref is saying, I got it going in the net, but I also got it hitting a skate. Whose skate was it? And if it was an Anaheim player, did he kick it? Those are probably some of the things they're discussing. Okay, there's players being jostled around. Does anybody have the net coming off? Okay, does anybody have goaltender interference? And you may look at the replay and say, well, Reid, how can the ref? Of course there wasn't. Look at it. But that's the ref's job. So, yeah, he probably should have, if he's got a goal, he probably should have pointed to the net right away if he's got the puck over the line and then said, now, I'm not defending him, but there could be a lot of things going over through his mind. He's like, if I point and Anaheim's celebrating and they leave the ice and then it's not a goal and we got to call everybody back, that doesn't look very good either. So, you know, it's interesting how it played out. I think it could have been handled better. But as we've been saying, Jay, ultimately they got the call right. Whether you can actually see the entire puck over the line or not, you know it was over the line.
They did, and honestly, lucky for that officiating crew that it did cross the line. Because if it didn't, and they came out and said that they've got a good goal, which, Reid, come on, nobody could see that. Heck, it was hard enough to pick up on the slow-mo camera from right inside the net.
Yeah.
And then as it's rolling over, he still is not on top of the net, the referee. So why not just say, okay, lost sight of it. Let's go and review it. You don't have to declare if it's a goal or not a goal. Do you?
You should make a call on the ice because if there's
if you
because
don't
if there's
know
no
100%,
right, if you don't see the puck over the line, you should say no goal. Now, a whole bunch could have come into play there, right? Because if the puck had been under Jarry for a little bit longer, then the ref could have said, "Oh, I didn't blow the whistle," but you know that rule where it's like, well, the play actually ends when the ref thought the play ended, not when the whistle. But then there's that other rule where it's like, well, if the ref blows his whistle, but the puck was already going over the line and nobody could have stopped it, then they can call it a goal. So there was a whole can of worms that could have resulted in that.
Well, and to me, one of the biggest, because you know what was this ref swayed by the reaction of Anaheim?
You never know.
Was he swayed by the lack of reaction from Edmonton? Right? Those players around there, I believe, knew that puck had crossed the line by their reaction.
Right.
That tells a lot. That tells a big story. And they were somewhat hanging, defeated, heads down right after. So I think they knew, and it was ultimately the right call, Reid. But like you said, the process of it is something that probably will have to be handled, and it would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think at the very least it could have been a little bit smoother. I mean, even Elliot Friedman put out some stuff about it that perhaps the process broke down. Big talking point, of course. We do have a little bit more on that and the possible repercussions out of this. Of course, we're going to talk about how this series is going, and to me, the Ducks have been obviously the better team as this series has gone on, which is to me maybe a bit surprising, especially how it's happening. But we'll talk about that. Drew Remenda will break some things down for us. We're always happy to hear from you because there's a lot to get into. You can text us at 780-218-9999. That's the afternoon inbox presented by River Caribbean Resort and Casino. Big 20th birthday celebration going on until October 26th. Over $1 million in prizes, including 35 winners of $20,000 in casino free plays, 9 brand new cars, 56 winners of $1,000 in cash. RiverCrewResort.com. As I mentioned, you can listen on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, spread the word about Edmonton Sports Talk. We're also on YouTube. The channel is Edmonton Sports Talk. Please subscribe to it if you haven't already. You can post in the Nasty Chat. That's the chat stream going on down the right-hand side of the page. And don't forget, give the show a thumbs up.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
We want to get first over 100 thumbs, and then we want to get up to the playoff threshold of 100. And you can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We'll get to the possible Limerick topic in a couple minutes. But first, we have to bring you the afternoon headlines for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeart today.
This is Chet Palmer with your sports report. Turns out the NHL has X-ray vision. They can see right through Cookie Jarry's skate blade.
Hey, Jason Milne, is that a screw job in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? So the chatterheads at the league office don't even know what a goal is. The last time I saw something this shady, I was in one of Capone's speakeasies. Some people think they should put a chip in the puck. The problem with that is my brother-in-law would try to bet it at the roulette table. I'm Chet Palmer.
The screw job.
That's what he called it.
Can you imagine
Chet's not happy.
if this series was closer, though? Like, okay. What I mean by that is, like you said moments ago, Anaheim has been outplaying the Oilers. It's not a matter of anymore, oh, well, the Oilers just don't have it together. They're too passive. Anaheim's kicking their ass. Anaheim's taking it to them. And I honestly wonder if this was a more intense series, or at least looked less lopsided, if this would be now referred to as a screw job. Right?
Yeah.
Like the Getzlaff lifting the pad screw job.
Right.
And you've seen it in other series. I don't know. Maybe that's why Oilers fans are, and the fact that it was a goal.
Yeah.
But
well, this is the thing. I mean, I always say I hate this word, but then I wind up using it. The Ducks deserve to win the game, even though they never had the lead till the end. I mean, they're better. They're playing fundamental hockey better. They're playing playmaking hockey better. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. So at this time of day, we always do the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536.
lines, everywhere lines. That's the topic. We're leaving it open-ended because the topic of conversation since, I don't know, 10:30 last night, all the way till now, has been a red line. And what crossed it, what maybe didn't cross it, how it crossed it. I mean, the artwork that I've seen coming out on social media has been fantastic.
Right.
Very well done. Lines. What are your favorite lines? You know, are you a vertical line? Are you a horizontal, parallel, perpendicular? What lines do you like waiting in? What lines will you not wait in? What's your best pickup line? Go wherever your brain wants you to go.
Hey, I got one of them pickup lines, Jay. Hey, those are a nice pair of pants. They'd look good on the floor of my bedroom. Thanks, Chet.
Finishing up a heater.
Yeah, those lines too.
So the off-topic topic is lines. Anything to do with lines, waiting in line, drawing lines, hockey lines, crossing the line, pickup lines, one-liners.
Crossing the line, right.
I think we would like to avoid our beloved Coob suggestion when we told them this off air. Oh, you mean like snorting coke? Well, let's stay away from that.
I didn't say that.
You did say that. You did say that.
That was the first thing you said.
First thing that came to mind for Coop.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Scarface.
Well, if
I don't
people
know.
submit them, we probably won't read those on air. Okay?
Yeah.
Just to deal with that right off the top.
Yeah, like what's your dashed line, curvy line, check mark line? You know, there's different fashions of lines.
Well, I thought about it. I mean, we have to. Most people drive here. I think everybody drives their vehicle to work here.
Probably.
Parking lines. Sometimes they're too thin. Sometimes you can't see them. Sometimes people don't see them. They get in the way. Usually when I try and back in on the near side in our parking lot, and usually in most instances, each line, whatever row of the parking lot you're in, they're lined up. So you pull in and you can back in and you will be even for where you sit. You're going to be in between the lines.
Wait,
In our parking lot, they're off center. So you can't line up the front of your vehicle to back in and be properly lined up.
Well, they're not parallel to each other, you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, I've never noticed that. Okay.
No. That's not what you're saying. You're saying the lines on this side of the parking lot are different than that side.
Yeah, they're not.
Why do they have to be the same?
Lined up.
That's not. They
How-
don't
why
make
are you-
them
what
like
are you
that so
lining
you
them up
can
to?
use it as a beacon to back in. That's what your side
I always
mirrors
do.
are for. Cool.
Yeah.
Don't tell.
I do, but I look in the mirror as well. So when I pull
That's
in,
not a,
But you
that's
can't
not a
and then I
frame
go
of
back
reference.
up.
That's not a frame of reference for parking.
yeah, I'm going to draw the line here.
Oh, cool.
I use it as a
That's
frame
what
of
your
reference.
side mirrors are for, man.
I know, and I don't have the fancy backup camera either.
But
Oh,
but you
good.
can't expect the lines across from you always to be perfectly lined up. That's what you're saying?
I have too much trust.
Do you often rage at parking lots that aren't perfectly symmetrical?
No, this is the first one that I've noticed. This
I
egregious.
guess a lot of them would be, but
because they're
I can't be the only one here, guys.
well, you're the only one in this room.
Well, stand in line and tell me in the comments if I'm right.
I appreciate Costco's parking lines.
They're really good, actually.
They leave a gap, so nobody's banging
Right.
doors.
And, well, that's good. You probably got to get carts in between them,
Yeah, you can fit a cart if you park properly.
which is encouraging. All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Okay, and the email, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. So send us your limericks about lines.
Oh, okay.
That'll be the limerick topic as well. Limericks about lines. Now, again, you can interpret lines however you want.
Yeah, narcotic line limericks will probably not get
Probably will be ignored.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Drew Remenda coming up at about 3:40. How much do referees make for a round in the playoffs? We'll dive into that when we get back.
The NHL has things in line. A pair of games tonight. Penguins on the brink down 3-1 to the Flyers. They hit the ice at 5 o'clock after that. Vegas and Utah meet in Salt Lake City. Game 4, their series. Mammoth up 2-1. Puck drop at 7:30. In basketball, Anthony Edwards of the T-Wolves is week to week with a hyperextension and bone bruise in his left knee. He went down in Game 4 against the Nuggets. Tonight, Mini Denver hit the court. Game 5. T-Wolves up 3-1. And we also see OKC looking for the sweep out in Phoenix against the Suns. Elsewhere, the Pistons look to tie their series at 2 against the Magic. To baseball, Jays Red Sox go at it first of 3 games in their series. Dylan Cease starts for Toronto. Rangers Suarez countering for Boston. First pitch just after 5. And staying with the Jays, the team has placed Max Scherzer on the 15-day injured list with a forearm issue and ankle injury. Chase Lee being recalled from the AAA Bisons in a corresponding move. It's the Rays Guardians opening things up 4:10. Pittsburgh and St. Louis play at 4:40. Dodgers and Marlins close out the night. First pitch at 8:10. This sports update is brought to you by Say the Reid Sport Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at saythereidsportmed.ca to book an appointment today. More with Reid and Jay on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in line.
2 guys and a goalie.
This is the beginning of the Nuge downfall. Sad face.
Fire it. There's still some good hockey left in Nuge. I have faith in Burnaby Nuge to pick up the slack next.
Well, I ran him out of town earlier this morning.
Oh, did you?
I mean, I was.
I mean, you put out.
You know how people are.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
We have what you're looking for. GD Liquidators is Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items since 1987. You'll find what you want when you want it. Give us a call, visit us in store, or check out the monthly auctions at gdliquidators.com. 100% Canadian owned and operated. We have what you are looking for. GD Liquidators.
Your home for great performances is
the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd.
9 p.m. show is sold out.
Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino.
Excitement?
Bet on it.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said great job? Happy hour. Your boss said per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Oilers traveling back from Anaheim today. Their season is on the line tomorrow night at Rogers Place against the Anaheim Ducks. What do we have tonight? Season on the line for the Penguins against the Flyers. And finally, Game 4 between Vegas and Utah. The off-topic topic for William Huff is lines. We left it open after what happened with the goal line yesterday in overtime.
Chris S. says phone lines are top-notch. Open them up. I have some thoughts about last night's game.
Fair enough.
Mike outside of Edmonton. This reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where Kramer and Newman remove a traffic line from the freeway. More spacious.
Oh.
I'll tell you what lines I don't like. The ones the Oilers have most of the time. LOL. That's from Vincenzo.
Greasy Gordy says the Oilers' season is over. Time to start thinking about the Elks and the line of scrimmage. Oh, interesting.
Deaky Spark says Coob when someone asks him to back into their driveway. Wait, do you have a driveway directly across? Or it's not possible?
That's out of line. Come on.
No, I think that's quite funny.
Well, that's
in line.
That's quite funny.
And Dean in Medicine Hat. The Oilers were struggling to find a line. Even McDavid looked out of line. Their passes went wide. The goals all denied. Oh, this is a limerick about lines, and I'm getting headway.
It's a limerick. There we go. Let's go.
Jeez, Dean, that was so well written. I didn't realize. Sorry. The Oilers were struggling to find a line. Even McDavid looked out of line. Their passes went wide. The goals all denied. And fans felt the slump by design.
Pretty good. Who's that from?
Dean in Medicine Hat.
Dean in Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat and PA, I believe, in a 1-1 tie in the WHL's Eastern Conference Final. I think PA took the first game 8-3. And then I think it was 5-0 for Medicine Hat in the second game. So should be a close series, but the first two games in that series
What's the name
were
of
not close.
Medicine Hat. Hat High. What?
What
are they?
The Tiger? The WHL team?
No. Medicine Hat High School.
Oh, I don't. There must be more than one high school in Medicine Hat. It has to be. Medicine Hat. Doctors? Prescribers? Prescribers.
Home of the, what? Hat High? What are they, Reid?
I don't know. What are they?
Hat High Hawks.
Oh, the Hat High Hawks.
Yeah. They always had a big M on their helmets.
When did you play them?
I played at Team Alberta with a fellow from Medicine Hat, and I loved his helmet because it looked like Marshall. You know, like we are Marshall.
Oh, that, okay.
Very good.
There must be other high schools in Medicine Hat, though. There must be at least a couple other ones.
Well, there's usually at least a Catholic alternative.
Right.
Right? But I don't know. Hat High had a good football team back in the day. Maybe they still do.
Yeah, they might. Makes me think of the film Miller's Crossing. Are you giving me the high hat? That's a great movie.
Never seen it.
Coen Brothers. Pretty good. Give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. We're already over 50. No sense on slowing down. If you haven't clicked the thumbs up, please do so. So a lot of discussion about that overtime goal. The referee who was primarily involved in it is named Jake Brink, Brenk. And I got to say, this is a side note here. I mean, it's been a couple decades, if not longer, that the refs no longer have the names on the back of the jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
They used to, like when I was a kid, I don't think did they even have numbers when I was a kid? I don't think they did. It would just say Van Hellemond, Hood. You know, the linesmen were Swede Knox or Randy Mitten or whoever. So now they don't have their names. They just have their numbers. And it has helped because, you know, they do get announced. They get referred to a lot. But, Jack and Louie the whole time on Sportsnet last night, I don't think they ever used the ref's name. Whereas when I was a kid, it would be like, oh, old Eddie Van Hellemond's trying to get a view on it. So it's very anonymous. His name is Jake Brink.
Oh, side note.
Yes.
Whenever people like you or I are talking about an NFL official in this manner, it's usually not in a great way. Or
usually
for great
not.
reasons.
Like if we look up his name, yeah.
They're like the old line of sports. They don't want to be talked about because when they are, it's not good.
Or his bio. So he just turned 44 on April 16th.
Hey, he's my age.
Says he's from the Detroit Lakes, which is actually in Minnesota. So here's a fun fact. I mean, a lot of the refs and linesmen played hockey, often played at a high level of hockey themselves, right? Travis Toomey, linesman in the National Hockey League, was a U of A Golden Bear. That's a little school we got right here in Edmonton. So Jake Brink was indeed a good enough hockey player to get drafted.
Oh, really? What year?
Back in 2001. He went in the 5th round, 154th overall.
Oh, wow.
To the Edmonton Oilers.
Kidding me?
And his first NHL game also was an Oilers game. I was looking up his bio earlier today.
Really?
No, this is just a total coincidence. Fun fact. That's all. But it just, because I was like, oh, what else do we know about this guy?
This is just a fun fact.
Just a fun fact.
Now, are you suggesting anything?
No, I'm not. I seriously am not.
I know. So I wanted you to say that.
Yeah, it's just an interesting thing.
I wonder how many officials Reid got to that level.
Where they were drafted? Yeah, I'm not sure.
You know, I would imagine a lot of them have played at a higher level.
Yeah, and there have been some, like Paul Stewart was a ref. He also played in the NHL, right? So there have been players where people like that. It's just kind of weird. You look at it, it's like, oh, he was drafted by the Oilers in the National Hockey League. Never played a game for the Oilers. Obviously, never even played in the AHL. So I have often said this over the years, even going back to my previous station, because when you interact with fans and when you do post game stuff, you get people angry at officials, and there's a point where I kind of feel as if there's only so much I can say. I can talk about the call. I can give my interpretation of it. I can tell you what the NHL rulebook says and my interpretation of that and how the referee or the linesman applied it in that case. But there reaches a point where I feel like I can't say much more, right? Where it's like, okay, like you can not like the call. I've explained it best I can. And we always get asked, well, what's the accountability? What's the accountability? They should do interviews, all that kind of stuff. We've been over that numerous times. And I over the years, I just sometimes reach a point where I say to people, look, write the official's name down, and then you're going to have to do a little bit of homework yourself, see if they get a pick for the playoffs. Because the NHL will put out that list, or if you want to, you can go through every box score and see how many games this guy works. So with Jake Brink, see if he works the second round. Because the people I spoke to I got the impression that this would be probably a bit of a negative on his record. That they would say, hey, you're a good ref, you got the call right, but some steps early in the process probably could have been handled a little bit better. So just remember that. Jake Brink, Brink. Certainly there is prestige involved to work deeper into the playoffs and to eventually work the Stanley Cup final.
Well, and it's a reward to you for hard work and doing a good job.
And there's a little bit of money involved. According to the website Scouting the Refs, which I have, I believe is a pretty good and reliable website. It's Scouting the Refs. So NHL officials, specifically, referees and linesmen, they are not paid per game in the playoffs. They are played per round, which I guess makes sense because if you got picked to cover a couple series and they were both sweeps, you'd lose games. So they're paid by the round. It is $31,000 a round. So if you were a referee and got to work all 4 rounds of the playoffs, that would be, $124,000? That's a nice little add-on to your salary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Linesmen were around $17,000-$18,000 per round. So
okay.
So just look at when the list comes out, or when you see what refs are working in the second round, see if Jake Brink's name is there.
Okay, Reid. Does that number strike you as rather high?
I didn't think it would be that high. I thought it would be in the tens of. I thought it'd be over $10,000 per round for sure. I didn't think it was 31.
I thought it would be per game, and I thought it would probably be a couple grand a game. Right? You go to 7 games. Hey, you deserve it. Good job. 14 grand. Here you go. Bob's your uncle.
Right.
If you go 7 games in this, it's $4,400 a game. If you
work 7 games across probably all 4 series.
If you refed the Carolina series,
they're rotating through series, right?
It would be, but if you only called 4, so you're saying, okay, so you're saying that the referees that were on the Carolina series are now going to come in and move in.
I don't think they do the whole schedule. They don't schedule everything ahead of time. I think they go a few days ahead of time. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's $31,000 a round. So keep an eye out for that name if Jake Brink does any more games. Chris Knoblock spoke this morning. We'll have the latest audio. We have plenty of other numbers to break down from this series, and our buddy Drew Remenda is going to hop on the Oil Country Towing video hotline when we get back. Here's an update with Zachary Kubish.
Two games in the NHL tonight. Penguins on the brink, down 3-1 to the Flyers. They hit the ice at 5 o'clock. After that, Vegas, Utah meet in Salt Lake City for Game 4. Mammoth up 2-1 in the series. Puck drop goes at 7:30. To basketball, Anthony Edwards of the T-Wolves is week to week with a hyperextension and bone bruise in his left knee after going down in Game 4 against the Nuggets. Mini Denver hit the court for Game 5 tonight. T-Wolves up 3-1. Meanwhile, OKC can sweep the Suns out in Phoenix. Plus, the Pistons look to tie their series at 2-2 against the Magic. In baseball, the Jays, Red Sox go at it for the first of 3 games. Dylan Cease on the bump for Toronto. Rangers, Suarez countering for Boston. First pitch just after 5. And staying with the Jays, the team has placed Max Scherzer on the 15-day injured list with a forearm issue and an ankle injury. Chase Lee being recalled from the AAA Bisons in response. The Rays and Guardians open things up 4:10 in the majors. Pittsburgh and St. Louis play at 4:40 as well. It's the Dodgers and Marlins closing out the night, playing just after 8 o'clock. Drew Remenda up next here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The oil stream.
Is McDavid going to be held off the score sheet? Probably not, because it's so rare.
Surprised, buddy.
Yeah, there's so many elements to that game, like you were outlining, and then a few more, that it really wasn't a typical Oilers playoff game. And also the fact that the depth scoring got the job done for the Oilers is another sign it wasn't a typical Oilers playoff game.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The Blue Jays are back for their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences or tackling backyard spring projects, get the space you need with Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Your home for great performances is
the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd.
9 p.m. show is sold out.
Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino.
Excitement.
Bet on it.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant,
learning,
trying,
building skills,
building confidence,
building a future.
One purchase, one donation,
one job, one choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one, the power of one, the power of one, the power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Playoffs don't care what day it is, and neither does the Canadian Brewhouse. Monday, we're packed. Wednesday, electric. Saturday, don't even ask. The Canadian Brewhouse is here for every game, every round, every minute of overtime, from puck drop to final buzzer. We are in this with you. Book your table, find your people, get loud. Don't miss out. Every game feels like a Saturday. This is our house, the Canadian Brewhouse.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation with options for every style and budget. Open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
All right, pleasure to have you tuning in this afternoon along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins, of course, 3 to 6 every weekday here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We're here with you. Slight change to that tomorrow, as we did last week with the Oilers games starting at 8. We'll extend it until 6:30, and then Tom Gazzola will hop on at 6:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. I did not know that till I looked it up earlier today. Referees $31,000 per round in the playoffs. So you want to advance. You want to do a good job. Mm-hmm. I just want to say something here to the people, because we're getting messages. Oh, you guys blaming the refs for the Oilers' loss. To listen to this show requires a certain amount of listening skills. This was an interesting play in a playoff game that happened to involve the Oilers. So we are going to talk about it. At no point did Jay or I don't think anybody else on Edmonton Sports Talk, blame the referees for the loss. In fact, I think to an employee here at Edmonton Sports Talk, we are saying that the puck was over the line and a goal was correctly awarded. We are talking about the process by which that decision was made. I think many of us feel there was a bit of a breakdown early in the process, and part of my thinking for that is that I have talked to people who have officiated games at a very high level, who talk to me because they know I'm not going to come on air and use their names. Mm-hmm. All right? So that's part of sports talk. We have plenty to say about how the Oilers played or aren't playing, and we will get to that. So just because you hear referee, we're not blaming the referees for anything about the result of the game. We're talking about how the referees handled the play, just like how we're going to talk about the Oilers handled the play or how Knoblock handled the situation or whatever. I would hope that goes without saying, but apparently sometimes it doesn't. This guy always has a lot to say, and we love hearing from him. He's on the Oil Country Towing video hotline, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team, fast, safe, and reliable. For over 15 years, whether it's game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. The irreplaceable Drew Remenda is checking in. Hello, Drew.
You guys know who drafted Jake Brink in 2001 out of the University of Minnesota, Mankato?
Yes, because I mentioned it in the last segment. And
Did you? I didn't
tweeted it earlier today as well.
Yes, you say
what a fun fact.
Everton Oilers draft pick 159th overall. Is that right?
Yeah, 154th. Yeah. I mean, people might be tuning in, so I don't mind you mentioning that again. Now, also, when we've mentioned that, I've gotten the see, he has a vendetta against the Oilers because they wouldn't. No, everybody, that's not what I'm saying. Some facts are just fun facts. It's just a weird coincidence.
On that call, it was clumsily handled, but as you guys have said, and pretty much everybody has said, when you look at it in your heart of hearts, and Edmonton Oilers fans, I know what you're like. I know how passionate you are about your team, and they can rarely do anything wrong, and everything goes against them. And Mr. Bettman hates Canada. I get all that. I understand that. But in our heart of hearts, we know that puck crossed the goal line. They got to it clumsily, but in the end, the right call was made.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But it is interesting and that's what we were doing in the first couple of segments of the show, talking about how it went from point A to point B to point C to point D to ultimately it being a call. So and we've talked a lot about that. We've planted it again into about the Oilers team play. We're going to get some of the Knoblock comments that he made today before Anaheim. I'll start with this, Drew, and I know you have a lot of thoughts on this. That overtime goal in itself, to some extent, it's fluky, it's a bounce, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of the things the Ducks are doing are things that lead to you getting favorable bounces in games, in my opinion.
Well, there's the two goals. The tying goal and the winning goal are off of what? Turnovers in the defensive zone. Leon Draisaitl, one of the most sure-handed guys in the world, tries that flip play. It gets knocked down, comes back, it's in the net because of good, hard forechecking by VL's line. That line's been Washington VL, and that line has been absolutely great. The other aspect was, so they get the draw and they pop it out. Frederick has control. He's getting tracked back by McTavish. There's a stand at the blue line. Don't remember the D-man standing there. Frederick's got one choice: bang that thing off the boards and get it out. He doesn't realize the pressure's there. He just tried to make a play. It gets turned over, comes right back. It's in the net. Puck management and plays like that coaches talk about all the time. You hear coaches talk about details. Those are two details that end up costing you dearly. And I thought yesterday, watching that game, that was the best controlled game the Oilers played. They didn't try to go like the Ducks and go all loose goose, high event hockey like they had the previous three games. But in that game, they were in control. They did a very good job of handling most of the play, but when the forecheck pressure got brought as the game went on, and the Ducks come back again, they were the number one team in the NHL along with the Montreal Canadiens at comeback wins this season, and the most comeback wins in the third period, which they did again. This is not something new for the Ducks and not something that the Oilers are letting happen. It's just the way the Ducks are built right now. A young group, a fast group, a heavy group, and they play all out all the time. And I think the speed's a factor, and I imagine we'll talk about that. But when you look at the way that this game was played, I thought it was the best game the Oilers have played in this series. It's more of a controlled, mature, disciplined game. But unfortunately, power play for the Ducks still clicking. And, I think Josh Szymanski's expression in the penalty box on that goal by Gauthier kind of said everything. So they've got to stay out of the box. But overall, when you look at these series and you look at every series, games come down to one or two key moments, critical moments. Late in the game, you've got the lead. You've got to be 100% with your puck play.
So I want to get into this, Drew, and in some ways, I think you're right. That was the Oilers' best game of the series, and They still got outchanced and out puck possession and all that stuff by the end of the night. One thing that I get frustrated with, and again, it probably wasn't as bad last night, but I still saw it. The Oilers seem obsessed with trying 90, 100-foot passes, as opposed to having guys come back and make a series of short passes to get it out of your zone and then try to forecheck the Ducks. Because I still stand by what I've been saying. If you get the Ducks in their own end, they ain't defensive wizards in terms of looking around and covering either. So
go ahead.
It seems like there's some stubbornness, and that's where if I were to criticize Knoblock and the coaching staff, I would say, okay, where's somebody stepping in and saying, hold on, guys, these fancy long passes that worked against the St. Louis Blues don't work right now. We need to change it. Or is it too much to overhaul something like that in a postseason series? How do you look at that?
No, it's not too much to overhaul, but I have a saying that I stole from an NHL coach, which is it can't always be about the guy behind the bench. The Oilers are now old enough, mature enough, good enough. They've gone to 2 Stanley Cup finals and a Western Conference final the last 3 years to understand that they're the guys that make the plays. They're the guys that change how the game's being played on the ice. They're the guys that have to make sure in the end that they're doing the right things in order to make it happen. So you don't need a coach to come in and draw on the whiteboard or show video, but they do anyway, that, hey guys, maybe we need to be doing things this way instead of that way. Or if we do things the right way, you show it to affirm that they're on the right track and that more of that type of play will lead to winning hockey. It's got to be up to the players themselves. At this point, there's no lack of experience or talent on that Edmonton Oilers team. There might be a lack of gas. There might be a lack of gasoline in the tank left right now. They have played, from my count, I think it was 75 games the last 4 years, 100 in the last 5 or 6 years of playoff hockey. They've played a ton of games in the last number of years. And to me, and we were looking at it, Randy and Han and I did games 2 and 3, and we're looking at the Oilers, and you can't help but think, yes, it affected the Florida Panthers winning those games, but the Oilers were there for just as many games. And they look like they don't have that extra gear. And the Ducks are young. They are inexperienced. They're naive, basically. Kreider, of course, and you've got Trouba. You've got the veteran guys like Kaloran. Those guys, they know what it takes. But the young guys are firing. They're going. And I think that causes some problems for them. But the way that Joel Quenneville has got his team playing, especially in the neutral zone, goes back to what you're saying, is those long passes are being negated. So it's up to the players to adjust just as much as it is for the coach.
Drew Remenda joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show, courtesy of the Oil Country Towing Video Hotline. Okay, so the players need to adjust. Possibly they're gassed. I think everybody would be in agreement with that. But Drew, what aspect of this team's game needs to change most and adjust most in order for the Oilers to get back in this series?
Well, forgive me for being Captain Obvious, but their penalty kill needs to get into gear. Their penalty kill is allowed just way too many goals. And that's been the difference in the series, really, when you look at it more than anything, is that the power play for the Ducks, which we thought was definitely going to be maybe the detriment to the Ducks, the special teams is going to be an issue. Well, finally, the Oilers' power play has started to click a little bit, but the Ducks' power play has started off hot, and they've continued to score goal after goal and critical goal after critical goal. So that's number one. Number two, when you are gassed, when you are a little tired, when you are struggling, I'm a big believer in simplicity. There is no reason that, and when you're playing a simple brand of hockey, it's the type of hockey that everybody can play. Not everybody can do what Connor does. Not everybody can pass the puck like Leon does. Not everybody can shoot the puck like Bouchard does. But if you play a simple brand of north-south hockey, pucks behind the D, get in the forecheck. Why can't everybody else forecheck like Podkolzin and Kapanen and Leon? Why can't everybody else get on that? They can. It's not easy. It's hard work. but it's doable. Something that every team, every guy can do is something where how you build your identity. So it would be pucks behind, get on the forecheck. And if that happens where you're starting to back the D up a little bit because they're tired of turning around and tired of, by the way, make them pay the price. Jackson Lacombe is a fantastic defenseman. He is so good. He's fast. He's got great moves. He gets the puck up the ice, but he's not being taxed for his time on the ice and his time with the puck. Why aren't more Edmonton Oilers players trying to finish checks on Jackson Lacombe? Every time he's out there, why aren't they getting on the D? I know Trouba's big. I know that they've got guys that are big, tough defensemen, but make them pay the price when they're handling the puck. I haven't seen out of any of the series, guys. Don't you think that this series has been the least physical out of any of them?
For sure.
Yeah. So simplicity in hockey, pucks deep, get in the forecheck, make the defenseman pay, and by the end of the game, hopefully they're a little bit slower in getting the puck. Or maybe they're cheating and backing up a little bit more, and that gives 97 that chance to do what he did, which was phenomenal save by Dostal. I mean, that almost won the game for them late, when Connor was streaking in doing what Connor does. How many games have we seen Connor cut to the front of the net full speed and put it in? Dostal makes a great save. But then also, when you lose the puck, track backs. I don't think the Oilers are tracking back very well at all. I think you've got to track back and shut off plays in the neutral zone. Watch Tampa. Watch Tampa, how hard they come back through the neutral zone. Carolina does a fantastic job of it as well, and just shut you off, put you in the small ice, and then turn the pucks over and go. To me, the neutral zone is the most important zone in hockey because that's where you can change a game defensively to make it an offensive game. You can shorten the rink if you're doing it the right way. And I think the Oilers they've got to be coming back harder, and they've got to be coming back more direct to shut down any chance that the Ducks are able to get the play into the zone and get their forecheck game going.
Yeah, I like how you put that. And one expression I use a lot, especially in football and hockey, is it's like the Ducks are playing downhill and the Oilers are trying to play uphill. Yeah. But I think that's a good explanation as to why it's happening, because the Ducks are making sure that they're contesting everything. And now, as much as there were some good signs from the Oilers last night, even though they didn't win, I thought last night now the Oilers D are getting back into this bad habit of backing in more off the rush and allowing shots from the slot on 2-on-2s, which should never happen on a 2-on-2.
No, it shouldn't. But why do they back in? They back in because they look up and they don't see any help coming from their forwards.
Right.
So that's why you've got to track back. You've got to have 5 guys. You got to be connected in all 5 zones. Period. End of discussion. You got to be connected. Every guy working the same level, doing the right things with and without the puck, and coming back and helping out your D. You got to get 5 guys above the play. That's what the Ducks are doing very well. That goes back to your 90-foot pass thing, is that the Ducks get above the play. And the Oilers have to do a better job at that.
Yeah. And you're right. I mean, I think everybody sees this. And I know it's easier said than done, Drew, but I've just been saying, make Anaheim work in their own end. And again, maybe a little better yesterday, but I've pointed out some examples, like how many 2 of the Kapanen goals, not the one yesterday, but were the other ones where, like the Ducks,
one at Rogers.
The Ducks are playing campfire defense. Hey, look, there's Leon. Oh, another guy's open. As good as the series as this Washy guy is having, the Podkolzin goal off the start of Game 3, he had 3 teammates within 8 feet of him, and he passes the puck to Podkolzin. Like, this is the frustrating thing for me, is that I think the Ducks can be had because of some of their breakdowns in their own. Like, it's almost like Quenneville said, probably wouldn't say this to his players, but it's almost like Quenneville just said to himself, I know we suck in our own end, 27th or 29th, so we just got to pressure every other area of the ice so the puck doesn't get in our own end.
Yeah, well, that was the big thing, is that you thought you could outscore the Ducks. Now the Ducks have tightened that up a little bit, but still, there's been a lot of goals in the first week, with the exception of last night. And even last night, for a playoff game, that's a good amount of goals. But the Ducks, let's remember, the Ducks aren't some team that, like the LA Kings, who tied a bunch of games and then got into into the playoffs. They were a team that was ahead of the Oilers for most of the season. This is a team that was sitting atop of the Pacific Division for a time during the season. This is a team that came within 1 point of the Oilers in the standings.
Yeah.
So this isn't a bad hockey team. This is a really good hockey team. But every team's got their weaknesses, and especially a young team who's in the playoffs for the first time, you can try to expose those weaknesses, but you have to have everybody doing it. You just can't have Leon's line doing it, and then Connor's line coming out and doing something else, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have to make sure that you have everybody doing what the thing that the coaching staff wants you to do, because they know that if you do it more times than the other team does it, if you do get them in their own zone, you get the forecheck going, you keep them in there. And so their top line, with Gauthier and with Carlson and with Terry, they've got to play defense instead of being able to get going offensively. That's what they did to Connor in the first few games. They made him play defense a lot because they were in the zone with their forecheck.
Yeah. Drew, as always, are you doing any more series this round?
If the series goes to 6, we just got a note from TNT today. If the series goes to 6, we might be doing that game.
Well, let's hope you are.
But to tell you the truth, Reid, I'm ready to come home. I'm just waiting for the snow to melt.
Yeah. 90% there, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If I leave Friday, I'll be okay.
You got to bring some of that tan through Edmonton when you come down. That's a good looking tan.
Connor said to me. He said, "Look at your tan." I said, "Yeah, California living." And then I threw out, "You should try it." And then I asked him if it was tampering. He didn't think so when I said that.
No, that's just Drew being Drew. All right, buddy. Thank you so much as always. You're so wonderful.
Wouldn't he look good in teal? Wouldn't he look good in teal though?
Oh, don't start that yet. My goodness. All right. Yeah, we love having you. Can we bug you later in the postseason, whether you're working games or not? Because we love talking to you.
I'll be working on my tan, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we can get you by the pool. Talk to you soon, buddy.
Okay, boys. Bye.
Drew Remenda on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Yeah, a great breakdown of how everything is going. We'll dive further into some of that stuff. We both have some numbers, none of which are favorable to the Oilers. Like this, I feel as if, Jay, this isn't one of those series where it's like, well, it's 3-1 for Team A, but there are some encouraging things here for Team B. To me, it's more like, oh, let's look. Oh, yeah, that's why Anaheim's. Oh, yeah, that's good for Anaheim. Oh, yeah, like except for maybe a couple little things. And the numbers back up kind of what Drew talked about, some of the things we're seeing on the ice. But we'll dive a little deeper into that. Well, we're going to talk about who's going to be in goal tomorrow, and you're going to hear from Chris Knoblock. We're late into the 4 o'clock break here. Coob's like, get going with it, guys. You got to draw the line, Coob.
The Lock Shop.
It was disturbing, and I think people are more pissed off than worried about Connor. Like, they're just angry that the series is tied right now. I mean, I said it after the first game. I'd be stunned if they somehow shut him down in game 3. You know, like, you feel like it's just a matter of time here.
It was just weird watching him after that. You know, go back, come back out, test it, get out there. He still seemed to be fast.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Worksite ready, Western tough. Lamley's Workwear is calling all tradespeople, oil and gas crews, construction workers, farmers, and hard-working Canadians. Built for the job with quality craftsmanship, job site protection, and cowboy-worthy durability. Trusted brands like Airy at Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed for performance and all-day comfort on the toughest sites. No matter the season, Lamley's has the workwear you need. Shop the full range now at lamleys.com/work.
LAMMLES.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path.
Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. Hi, it's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Out east, the Penguins and Flyers drop the puck. Pittsburgh down 3-1 in the series. They hit the ice at 5 o'clock. After that, Vegas, Utah meet in Salt Lake City for Game 4. Mammoth up 2-1 in the series. They meet at 7:30 to basketball. Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves is week to week with a hyperextension and bone bruise in his left knee after going down in Game 4 against the Nuggets. It's Minnie and Denver hitting the court for Game 5 tonight. T-Wolves up 3-1. And OKC, they can sweep the Suns with a win tonight out in Phoenix. Plus, the Pistons look to tie their series at 2-1 against the Magic. In baseball, the Jays Red Sox squatted for the first of 3 games. Dylan Cease starting for Toronto. Rangers Suarez on the other side for Boston. First pitch just after 5. Staying with Toronto, the team has placed Max Scherzer on the 15-day injured list with a forearm issue and an ankle injury. Chase Lee being recalled from the AAA Bisons in response. Warming up now, the Rays and Guardians are about to go at it. Later on, the Cardinals and Pirates match up before the Mariners and Twins lock horns. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
This is the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Oilers down 3-1 in the best-of-7 series with the Anaheim Ducks. Game 5 coming up tomorrow at Rogers Place. The Oilers will try to force a Game 6 back in Anaheim. That one would be on Thursday. A couple games coming up tonight.
It's Jay. It's play. He's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
Presented by Play Alberta. It's time to turn up the fun with the all-new Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and of course, sports betting.
All right. Reid, I believe you had this player as your what was the
former Oiler of the Year? Yeah, we did our season at the end of the regular season. We did our awards, and one of our categories was former Oiler of the Year.
Former Oiler of the Year, Kyler Yamamoto, playing with Utah in their wins in this series. Kyler Yamamoto has had 2 assists and then another assist, 3 points in 3 games.
Not bad.
Okay, Reid, I came into the bullpen today, and Reid said, "Jay, I got my tinglies. The feeling. I got it. Kyler Yamamoto point." I said, sure, let's do it. It's actually been boosted quite nicely. It's Jay's play of the day. Kyler Yamamoto, 1 or more points that has been boosted to plus 220 as they take on the Vegas Golden Knights. You have till 7:30 to get in on that play.
Yeah.
So head over to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on EST specials, and you will see Jay's play of the day, amongst others. You've got the Matthew Iwanek, I still believe, play, which is the Oilers to win this series in 7.
To come back and win it. That's what Iwanek has.
Plus 650.
Okay. The Persnickety Prince going for it.
He's been uncharacteristically positive today. So I don't know what to tell you, Oilers fans.
Yeah.
But if you want to have something live tonight, Kyler Yamamoto, one or more points, boosted to plus 220. If you haven't yet, download the Play Alberta app. And Reid, always remember to use your game sense.
Now, the Yamamoto wager, the way I do the odds, is listed as 3.2 to 1.
Yeah.
However, I was told, Reid, the way you do the odds, you're not supposed to use decimals. So I believe that would be 16 to 5.
Oh, you're trying to find...
You got to find the lowest common... Yeah.
It would.
Yeah, you got to get them to both whole numbers.
Yeah, that's, okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
so I think that would be 16 to 5.
5.
Yeah, so I sprinkled a little bit on that. Why not?
That makes way more sense. 16 to 5.
Yeah, it's 16 to 5.
3.2 to 1.
Yeah. Well, you can convert it yourself.
I mean, everybody can count by 5.
Most everybody.
Library Pat says, I think what Drew is talking about sounds like focused alertness or lack thereof.
Yes, focused alertness. What did I? Oh, that's to replace urgency. Yes.
Urgency,
yeah,
yes.
I was tired.
Your favorite
I was
word.
tired of people saying urgency. Anyway, that was Jay's play of the day.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, and remember, if you have us on YouTube this afternoon, please click that thumbs up button if you haven't already. We want to get to 155 thumbs. We are halfway there, but if you haven't clicked, do not be a pleasure delayer. Get in there and click right away. And then once you have clicked, hit the share button.
Do you believe in life after love?
And send the show link off to other people and get them involved here in the great community at Edmonton Sports Talk. Our off-topic topic for William Huff was after the close play on the goal line for the Ducks to beat the Oilers last night, something to do with lines. Your favorite line, your most hated line, pickup lines, one-liners, lines you wait in, lines on a chart, whatever you wanted it to be.
Collingwood Rob says, I love lay it on the line. I wish the Oilers would lay it on the line themselves.
Yeah. Was that the Blue Jays song or was that the playoff song last year?
That was the Blue Jays song.
That was the Blue Jays song that got played a lot during the postseason last year.
Yeah,
Okay.
almost too much.
Yeah, it does get to be a bit after a while.
Now, you can't, I at least for me, I didn't say that about the Bearcat during the Olympics.
Oh, right.
Every time it came on, it made me tap
Well,
my
the
toes.
Olympics, 17 days, just an appropriate enough time.
Bearcat.
Yeah, it's just enough.
Yes.
Didn't get overplayed. Somebody was talking about merging. Here it is. Buttermilk syrup. Sounds delicious, by the way.
I like the sound.
Merge lines. How is it that people still don't know how to merge and or appreciate that your lane is ending and you need to make a move? Rush hour on the Henday tests me daily. Bronco Nick just says tan line. Oh, Bronco Nick. Double A says assembly line. Is that a good line or a bad line? I guess it depends what they're assembling.
Bronco Nick also said, whose line is it anyway?
Oh, good show. Yeah,
Very good.
That's a good line. We had Colin Mockery on the show last year.
We did.
From that show.
Spency 5 Stency, I love a good straight line. Like a perfectly straight road or a chalk line.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nothing like a well-placed straight line.
Nothing like it, Reid. You ain't living until you've seen a straight line.
Until you've seen a straight line. There it is. All right. Well, the Oilers maybe could play in more of a straight line. We have the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Well, good job, guys. Well done. So the Oilers not skating today, flying back from Anaheim, and this is fairly common in the playoffs. The teams stop traveling after games, I guess, depending on the distance, but certainly we've seen the Oilers do this in recent years. They'll come back the day after a game. So, and also the rule is that somebody has to be available to the media every day or during a series. So Here just Knoblock was kind of asked just an overall comment about where the series is at. Here's his reply.
Yeah, obviously we are disappointed to be in this situation, and we have to change our the way we're playing a little bit, make some adjustments, but also making just playing with trying to not making the mistakes at crucial times. And you think, I believe we've had leads in all 4 games, and it's just a crucial moment in time that we make a mistake and it leads to the change of the game. The penalties, there's been numerous penalties where we've got a lead. I think twice we've had 2-goal leads. We've taken a penalty. They score on the power play to give them an opportunity to get back in the game, where we had a great start and, we survived the first penalty that we took in the first period, but the second one gets them back in the game, and then we're on our heels and they gain some momentum, and this team plays really well when they're from behind. So we just got to make sure that we stay the course.
All right. Just kind of a general comment there. He sort of didn't dive anything too deeply, but mentioned a lot of things. I guess I would say, and Drew said, oddly enough, in some ways that was the Oilers' best game of the series. Still not good enough. Fair to say the Oilers maybe didn't make as many. They still made mistakes, but maybe not as many mistakes. But still, they didn't really. I mean, as the game went on,
yes,
it just felt like Anaheim was the better team, and that the Oilers were going to have to hang on to win it. Edmonton went up 3-2, and Edmonton really didn't do much after that except for the McDavid net drive, which was Dostal's best save of the series.
Sure,
and I mean, I still look at this series as a whole. I mean, we cover the Oilers, we talk about the Oilers, so most things we say are Oilers-centric, but I also try to take a look at the series as a whole, and Dostal hasn't blown me away in this series either. But that was a huge save that he made. But, and that was after the Ducks already tied at 3-3. So the Oilers go ahead. They get a big power play goal, and then it's right back to, well, no, here's Anaheim again. And again, it wasn't that the Oilers were making mistakes. It was just most of the game was in the Oilers' half of the ice. Even if Edmonton did a good job clearing the puck, it seemed like Anaheim got it right back, and it was back in Edmonton's end again, and it was just a matter of time before they got something to go through.
Well, and clearly that's part of the game plan for Anaheim, Reid, is to ramp it up, especially when they're down and the Oilers might be trying to protect or hang on and hold on to a lead. It seems like Anaheim kicks it into another gear that the Oilers just simply can't hang with. Right? Like, how many times, Reid, in this series have you seen a prolonged shift in Anaheim's end, where
not often. No, like repeated attempts in front of the goal, banging away,
or just a hard forecheck where they're rimming it around back and forth. They're tiring out the defense, not allowing them to change. Maybe once, and I think it would have been last night. Like some sort of a semblance of sustained pressure. But Anaheim has no problem taking it the other way. And the way that it's like, you mentioned this earlier in the year. I forget which regular season game it was, Reid. But it was a 2-on-2, and Darnell Nurse, and I forget who the partner was that game, backed all the way in almost to the top of the crease.
Yeah.
And allowed a grade A scoring chance on a routine 2-on-2.
Yeah.
Well, there they are again last night, doing that again. So I don't know if maybe this whole fatigue thing that Drew mentioned and other people have mentioned, maybe a lot of this fatigue is mental. I don't know, but it just seems like a team that is far too passive and does not have that killer instinct.
Yeah.
To put a game away. They could have put this game away in the first period.
Well, if you're up 3-0, I mean, the way things have gone, it's not over. But as we often talk about, 3-goal comebacks are a lot more rare than 2-goal comebacks. Scott in the Nazi chat says Oilers breakouts are bad, and the Oilers the Oilers offense is a lot of one-and-done attempts that don't lead to much repeated pressure. A consistent cycle would be great. Yeah, I think that's very well said. I mean, and this is the thing, it's every area of the ice. They don't break the puck out well enough. I see stubbornness with, let's try a long pass and try to get something going, or chip it into the zone and then chase it, and Anaheim's too quick or they're taking it away. So I don't like that. And then there's not a lot of sustained pressure on the forecheck.
Even in the offensive zone, I mean, they had, I think Tom talked about it on the post-game show, but this stuck out to me too. Leon Draisaitl carried the puck into the Anaheim zone, stopped near the blue line.
Yes.
And the forwards were going down. A cycle was forming, Reid.
Yeah.
At least what we could see as a cycle starting. Leon decides to make a very, not risky, but a low percentage pass across the ice that ended up leaving the zone and stalling what was building.
Yep.
I mean, just get the puck in. That's, that line, if any line is capable of putting something together where they can tire down that defense and work in the offensive zone. That was a small microcosm of what this team has looked like this series.
Yeah.
Opportunities there, they're just not taking it.
Yeah, Tom and I were watching together at BP Westgate, and we both pointed out that play. It's like, just get it down low. But they are, and this is my problem with the stubbornness. It seems like they're so obsessed with puck possession and trying to connect on so many consecutive passes in a row that Anaheim is just saying, well, just don't give up a dangerous pass, and odds are eventually we're going to chip one or they're going to fumble one. Right. So I don't know if I don't know if it's going to change. I mean, the Oilers could win tomorrow. I don't think they can win 3 games in a row, quite frankly. I don't even know. I wouldn't even favor them to win tomorrow, but they could win. I mean, we got to be fair. As flawed as they were yesterday, they did get it to overtime.
And this team has a history, Reid.
But here's
backs against the wall.
True, okay. but that doesn't come through every time.
It doesn't, and it's a different team. I find it ironic that the Oilers need to go on a 3-game win streak, Reid.
Right. Just to win one round.
To win this series.
But here's some of the numbers I have, and then we'll break. And Jay, I know you have some stuff too, and I know you have your 3-1.
Well, Adrian Kempe may not be my favorite player in the NHL anymore.
So just talking about how the Ducks doing a lot of little things well, how they're persistent, and how this series is proving that in hockey, not everything that you do works all the time, but if you do the right things more often than not, then you can win a series 4 times in 7 games. Ducks have a chance to do it in 5. 5-on-5. Shots on goal are actually even, 101 to 101. Shot attempts, 217 to 195. So 22. So, okay, 5 shot attempts a game. Getting the puck to the net more. The Oilers are actually outscoring Anaheim 5-on-5. We've talked about the special teams, 6-3 the power play goals for Anaheim, plus they have a shorthanded goal. Overall shot attempts, though, this is all strengths, all situations. The Ducks are plus 40 in shot attempts, 267 to 227. Now, these are shots that go wide. They might be blocked, but just in terms of making an attempt to get the puck on the other team's goal, the Ducks have 10 more attempts per game.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So that just shows they're committed to they have the puck more, and they're more committed to getting it to the net. And you're making the Oilers goalies be busier, and you're in a situation where you might put the puck to the net, and it might go off Darnell Nurse's skate, and it might go across the line by 3 pixels or whatever Wannick said.
Or it might force a block shot or a deflection or a kicked out rebound that goes right to one of your players.
And this is what to get back to the overtime goal. It's a weird goal. Yeah, I'd even say it's somewhat fluky, but it's still an earned goal.
Sure.
Because you have the puck. You didn't, and as Drew was saying, turnovers, pucks that weren't cleared, and you are willing to be strong with it. You're willing to have a guy battling Nurse in front of the net, and you get a break that Nurse's skate is there right at that exact time, and it sneaks across the goal line. So yes, do I think it's a bounce? Sure, it's an earned bounce. And that's the beauty of hockey. Of course, there are bounces, but you just like the Kapanen goal in the first minute. Dickinson makes a strong play. Wallman just shoots. You get a bounce and you put it in, but the Oilers don't commit to that, and they can't. Well,
you know what, Reid? You often don't hear of teams getting bounces that go in the opposing team's net from their end, from their own end.
Right. Good point.
Okay, it usually happens when you're doing something good in the other team's end.
Yeah. Ingram's save percentage doesn't look very good. It's .849. Jarry was .895 last night. I do not have any issues with how Jarry played. Weird one on the overtime goal. I thought he stepped up in a tough situation. And here's the thing, guys. The Stahl's save percentage is .878. And he's probably going to be the winning goaltender in this series because the Oilers can't get enough pucks on him overall. Jay has some other numbers to look at. Of course, we're happy to hear from you. You can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Tap 25 at River Cree has a $21.99 prime rib special. That's 7 days a week except show nights from 11:30 in the morning to 11 at night. Available for dine-in and takeout. Incredible deal. $21.99 prime rib special at Tap 25, rivercreeresort.com. Gord Stellick coming up as well in about 15 minutes. Here's the Coop.
Pair of games in the NHL tonight. Penguins on the brink down 3-1 to the Flyers. They hit the ice at 5 o'clock. After that, the Golden Knights and Mammoth meet in Salt Lake City. Game 4 their series. Utah leading 2-1 in the best of 7. They hit the ice at 7:30. To basketball, Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves is out week to week with a hyper extension and bone bruise in his left knee after going down in Game 4 against the Nuggets. Mini Denver, they hit the court Game 5 tonight. T-Wolves up 3-1 in the series. Meanwhile, OKC can sweep the Suns with a win tonight out in Phoenix. And we also have the Pistons looking to tie the series at 2-a-side against the Magic. To baseball, Jays Red Sox go at it for the first of 3 total games. Dylan Cease to the bump for Toronto. Ranger Suarez countering for Boston. First pitch just after 5. And staying with the Jays, the team has placed Max Scherzer on the 15-day injured list with a forearm issue and ankle injury. Chase Lee has been recalled from the AAA Bisons in response. Live now in the majors, just one game, top of the second. Rays Guardians are runless and warming up. The Cardinals and Pirates are about to get underway. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. From custom homes to small renovations, Edmonton's top builders and contractors rely on Paramount Flooring. Their in-house team handles everything from selections to completion, keeping projects on track and on time. Visit their showroom open 7 days a week or find them at paramountflooring.ca. More with Reid and Jay after the break here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Bruce Boudreau.
All they have to do, let's win tomorrow, then put the pressure right back on Anaheim. Because when you go on the road in a Game 6 and you're behind, there's no pressure on you. Just play. I mean, the pressure's on them because if they lose, they know that they've got to come back to Edmonton for a Game 7. Trying to spin it positively, you got to make it believe that this is all possible.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Oilers game tomorrow. Will it be the final one of the season? It's 8 o'clock at Rogers Place. Jay and I are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Got a big thanks to Pat Keddy with the Canadian Brewhouse. Got a great meal for Mom and Dad and I on Saturday night. Man, oh man, the wing flavor of the month, the maple bacon, the spicy sriracha maple bacon wings. Love those. You know what else is good there? This one's on the gyoza. Those are delicious.
I'm a sucker.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff at the brew house, but those will be my food stars of the day. Yeah, check out the Canadian Brew House. Great vibe for the playoffs. We're at the Ice House for Oilers home games. That's the one right downtown, and a fun place to visit for some snackies and a pint all year round. Quite frankly,
yes.
All right, so Oilers tomorrow. Yeah, they're flying back today. We have buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate.
Reid.
Jay. I'm excited about these segments because sometimes I just see him at his laptop like tittering, or like he'll look at me and he'll smirk, and I'll be like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'm not going to tell you." I'm like, "You're never going to tell me." He's like, "No, I'll tell you on the show."
How many instances in NHL history has a team rallied from a 3-1 series deficit to win a best-of-7 series? How many times has this happened?
Well, it's happened a lot more in the last 30 or 40 years than it did in the first 60 or whatever.
That's true.
I will say 27.
Not bad. 32 instances.
Okay.
Reid, that a team has come back from a 3-1 series deficit. The Oilers have been involved in such series.
Okay. Yeah, you did ask me this, and I knew them all.
Yeah, twice. Go on.
So in 1990, they came back from 3-1 down in the first round to beat Winnipeg, won the Stanley Cup. In 98, they were down 3-0 to Colorado in the first round, came back and won. And then in 89, they led Gretzky and the Kings 3-1 and lost the series in 7.
I was surprised. Now, these aren't the only times the Oilers have been down 3-1. These are the instances they've come back and won.
Right.
I was surprised how many times this has happened. 32 times in NHL history. Reid, half of them have happened this century.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right? Do you know the last... Do you know the 3 series that this happened in the 2020s?
The 3 series that happened in the 2020s, I probably don't remember, Jay. Colorado, Dallas, West Final 2020. Was that 3-1?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to be good at these. Wait a minute.
2020-21, so it was a 2021 playoffs. Montreal.
Oh, Montreal against the Leafs. Yes, of course.
Came back from 3.
I should have remembered that one.
From 3-1 to take that in 7. 2022 playoffs. This was Eastern Conference. This was in the first round.
2022 first round. Were the Rangers involved? Did the Rangers win it? Rangers Penguins?
Well done. Yes. Rangers Penguins. The Rangers started that series at home. And then the last one that happened was in the following year. So it's 3 consecutive seasons.
So 21,
22, 23.
My memory is so bad. So the Oilers were in the playoffs that year. In 2023, they lost to Vegas in the second round. So it was some other series. I don't think it was a series that involved, Florida-Boston. Of course, Florida-Boston.
Yes.
Yeah, Florida, huge underdogs, and they won games 5 and 7 in Boston in overtime. And they tied game 7 with about a minute left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well done. Reid, buying or selling?
Okay.
Because I know we got to get to Gord Stellick here soon. And maybe we can talk about this more later. But Tristan Jarry might deserve the net tomorrow. I thought he did well. Nobody, I think, is pinning this loss on Tristan Jarry. But do they go back to their starter in a must-win game? Their starting goaltender. Mm-hmm. That's how Chris Knoblock has referred to Connor Ingram. Do they go back to Connor Ingram in a must-win situation?
Oh, man. My gut tells me they're going to go with Jarry.
Really?
Because he played well enough to win the game.
Well, I thought
2 power play goals against.
But okay, this is all good and true. What you're saying is accurate.
Coop, can you put a poll in YouTube? And I want you to word it as, who would you start in goal in Game 5 for the Oilers?
Ooh,
Not what do you think Knoblock is going to do. Who would you start in goal?
That's a good thing we have a former GM coming up.
And do not put Pickard as an option. Okay, it's between Ingram
Don't muddy the
and
water,
Jarry.
Coob.
Sorry, everybody, but it's not going to be
Joaquin
Pickard.
Gage.
It will not be Joaquin Gage. He would decline the opportunity.
But okay, so everything you just said is true. Tristan Jarry played great. He's not the reason that team lost. But was Connor Ingram the reason they lost?
No. I don't
Games
think so either. I just think bottom line is Jarry allowed fewer goals in a similar number of shots. Probably one of Jarry's better games of the season, quite frankly. I mean, he made a lot of solid saves, I thought. He moved well. I mean, sure, you could say, well, you got to have the Gauthier goal. Well, then Dostal's got to have the Bouchard goal. I mean, offensive players make good shots, right?
Okay, but the Gauthier goal, how much time did he have to just walk in?
This is a whole other thing. And maybe Gord will get to this. I know he's standing. I still don't like McDavid on the penalty kill. I've been saying that all year.
You think Leon Draisaitl's had that much time from the
Because
circle?
McDavid just roams around and tries to steal the puck, and he rarely does.
Too much
time. Did he even score a shorthanded goal this season? I'm not sure he did. Okay, we better break because Gord Stellick's coming up. We always love chatting with him. We'll talk some Oilers with him. We should talk about the Sabres, too. Holy crap.
What a wagon.
And we should get his thoughts. That you and I were most, other than the Oilers, we were most excited about Tampa Bay, Montreal.
Wow.
It has maybe surpassed.
Possibly.
I didn't get to watch as much yesterday as some of the other games, but that's been an incredible series as well. So Gord Stellick is coming up. More from Knoblock. He spoke earlier today. Fired up for Jemko as a head two. Here's the Coop.
Two games tonight's NHL schedule. Penguins on the brink, down 3-1 to the Flyers. They hit the ice at 5 o'clock. After that, Vegas, Utah meet in Salt Lake City for Game 4. Mammoth leading 2-1 in the series. In basketball, Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves is week to week with a hyperextension and bone bruise in his left knee after going down in Game 4 against the Nuggets. Mini Denver hit the court Game 5 tonight. T-Wolves up 3-1 in their best of 7 series. Meanwhile, OKC can sweep the Suns tonight with a win out in Phoenix. In baseball, Jays Red Sox go at it for the first of 3 games. Dylan Cease to the bump for Toronto. Rangers Suarez countering for Boston. First pitch just after 5. Staying with the Jays, the team has placed Max Scherzer on the 15-day injured list with a forearm issue and an ankle injury. Chase Lee being recalled from the AAA Bisons in response. Live now in the majors, top of the third, Rays Guardians runless and warming up. The Cardinals are about to take on the Pirates. Gord Stellick up next here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
EST Hangout.
I'll get into the goal, but I just want to point that out. Trent Frederick giveaway. Trent Frederick's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't he? 7 more years of that. Thank you, Stan Bowman.
Yeah.
I just had to throw that in quick, but when it comes to that goal, I mean, any person with 2 working eyes and no bias, that's a goal, 100%.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Moving to a new home sounds simple, but sometimes
we can't move it until when?
Life gets in the way. Whether you're downsizing or staging your house to sell, Sentinel Storage has affordable solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Goodwill is
one shopper. Finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase. One donation.
One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Moving to a new home sounds simple, but sometimes
we can't move in until when?
Life gets in the way. Whether you're downsizing or staging your house to sell, Sentinel Storage has affordable solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, we're going to get old Pit Philly on the TV here in about 20 minutes.
Pit Philly sounds like an awesome nickname.
That'd be a good name for a band, actually. Pit Philly.
Please, Edmonton, welcome to the stage, Pit Philly.
That would be good. Yeah, for first round is fun. Wall-to-wall hockey. Pretty much, well, I guess a couple series have ended, but we still got a lot of games going on. The Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Experience all the excitement of the casino in the palm of your hand. Download the Play Alberta app today. Get yourself started. Also go to playalberta.ca. Okay, we love talking to this guy. Gord Stellick with SiriusXM is checking in. Gord, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm great. And, you know, I don't know about Pit Philly, but Triumph and April Wine played at Scotiabank Arena. And my wife, Lisa, was at the El Macombo. In Excess was there, like only 500. That's where Margaret Trudeau met the Rolling Stones all those years ago. You remember it? Anyway, so I don't know about Pit Philly, Jay. I kind of like it. That's what we're talking about in Toronto, you know, trying to get the Raptors maybe excited. Maybe the Jays are going, but it's a real void when you don't have playoff hockey.
Okay, the El Macombo, isn't that where the Rolling Stones performed and put out and released a live record from there? It's like one of their greatest performances?
So I don't know if it's a live record. I had just started with the Leafs working part-time, and they were playing the mighty Colorado Rockies on a Saturday night. And my last job was handing the stats to the visiting team dressing room. And I remember John Van Boxmeer, like they always grabbed the stats because stats, you know, it just was the game stats. There was no minor stats, but we used to do time on ice. So they like to see it. And someone said, "Hey, go to the El Macombo. The Rolling Stones are playing." And I walked out, "What, these guys idiots? Like, what are you talking about?" And then the next morning, it's all about, they play, but also that facilitated Margaret Trudeau's divorce from Pierre when their marriage was a little bit rocky. She got some not quite first lady pictures there at the Rolling Stones concert.
Yeah, I vaguely remember the stories about that. Not firsthand, but seeing them later. Gord, this is why we have you on. I mean, you've been on about 90 seconds. Yeah. You've mentioned the Colorado Rockies, the Rolling Stones, other Canadian, some other bands who are Canadian. The music venue,
Margaret Trudeau,
the Raptors, the Blue Jays, and the Leafs, and we haven't even talked about the order and Margaret Trudeau. Right. I mean, this is just a reference-filled bunch of hashtags.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk hockey, and you know the sad part was it 1 year ago and 2 years ago, whatever, that we would talk about. Hey, maybe finally a Canadian-based team we won the Stanley Cup, and it seemed like there were 5 options. And now, you know, Edmonton has seemed like the best option. Montreal may end up being the only option. Like, are we back to that? All of a sudden, geez, it's going to be another decade or so, because man, it was exciting. And so many Canadian teams have taken a step backwards.
Well, Montreal might still be an option for this year, and we want to talk about that. I think you were on when Jay and I were talking about how much we love that series, but we got to get some Oilers thoughts for you. I mean, as you know, we've been breaking it down all day here at EST, but we want to lend your voice and mind to this. I'll ask the question this way. What's the biggest problem that has led to the Oilers being down 3-1 in this series?
So it seems like it's mirrored their regular season to the last 10 or 12 games, that there are probably a few you can talk about. But, Reid and Jay, 6 for 12 on the power play, Anaheim. Are you serious? Like, they always say playoff special teams and goaltending really matter. Well, they actually matter during the regular season as well. And for me, that jumps out. 6 for 12 on the power play, among other things, is why, like many teams, down 3-1 and facing a very much only 2 series are tied 2-2. Maybe Vegas will tie it tonight and we'll get 3 of them, but that's very unusual for the 8 first-round series.
Would you, I know you were on when I was saying this, I might have even seen you nodding, I'm not sure. I have never been a fan of McDavid on the penalty kill. They did it most of this year. Yeah, there were some odd games where he stole the puck and got a 2-on-1 or whatever, but to me, he's not built to play on the penalty kill. And I know he's not on the ice for all of the 6 Ducks goals, but he was on for the one, was it the one Granlund walked past him and scored last night? I mean, you've seen a lot of great players. Some have been able to kill, some haven't. What do you think of 97 on the Oilers PK?
Well, you got 31 teams saying he can play anywhere he wants, right? We'll take him. He could, like Bruce Boudreau kid, and one of his things was he didn't coach. Alexander Ovechkin dictated when he was on the, you got Ovi in his prime. Let's not screw around. Let's not pull a Pierre Kramer on Mario Lemieux or a Robbie Ftorek on Wayne Gretzky. I hope those aren't too old references, but guys that tried to overcoach those guys in Pittsburgh and Los Angeles, respectively. So, it's funny, Reid and Jay, it used to be that the penalty killers were that was a chance for the fourth line guys to get a few minutes. And then they decided, you know what? We got the extra TV timeouts. Why not get the best players out there? They want more ice time anyway. They want the challenge of killing penalties. In Toronto, Mitch Marner, when he was here, was an excellent penalty killer. Is Austin Matthews? It's probably like Connor McDavid, right? It seems like the elite players now, they kind of command it / demand it, whatever. Is it the best option? Questionable. With Connor McDavid obviously nursing something, much like Sidney Crosby, I don't think is 100% in Pittsburgh. Maybe this is the time to, if you're nursing something and you're going to play 19 minutes instead of 25, maybe not being on the PK would be something going forward in the series you could look at. So I've never analyzed that. You see it much more, but conceptually, I agree with you about that.
Gord Stellick from SiriusXM joining us this afternoon on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. The coaching impact, and I really want to get your perspective on this because you know a lot of coaches, you talk to a lot of coaches. When the Oilers fall behind, Knoblock gets criticized. I think in some cases fairly so. Like I wish they could adjust the breakout so they weren't trying 100-foot passes all the time. And then we know about Quenneville on the other side. When you look at a series like this, or maybe other series you've seen in the past or this year, like what's a tangible coaching impact that you could point to a fan and say, no, look here, like this is actually coaching as opposed to just player decisions or execution?
Well, an underrated coaching thing on the other side is, Greg Cronin did a really good job getting them to the next level, but he pissed the players off, wore them out. Joel Quenneville, I'm not saying he inherited, like a finished product, but there was a need, I think, for Cronin. I mean, their points improved quite a bit. So that's where you get the whole Knoblock factor, or any coach about, whatever, you get them to a certain level. That's what always killed Roger Nielsen. His team's over improved. And then the expectation was they're going to go like this way all the time. So I always, it comes down to the players on the ice. There's interesting things in Edmonton, the whole Paul Coffey dynamic, that he wasn't on the bench and now they want him on the bench. I'm very big on Paul Coffey. He lives in my neighborhood when he's not in Edmonton, but I'm big on him just being Paul Coffey, never mind being a neighbor. He doesn't shovel my snow or anything, for the record. But anyway, so it's always interesting. Like you look in Toronto, this isn't Craig Berube's first year. So why did the team look like they quit on him or didn't know how to play or didn't want to play his system that was so successful the first year and then being first place in the Atlantic Division? So I get the coaching nuances of it. And let's face it, it'll matter in a playoffs. If you get out coached, and it makes one game difference, that's a big game in the playoffs. So you can certainly put that in. I think any team up 3-1, you probably are looking coaching as being a positive on the team being up 3-1. But, it's funny, Edmonton, Tristan Jarry, you guys were talking about it. He wasn't horrible. It's just this goaltending thing won't go away. And having the worst save percentage of the 16 teams won't go away. And the giveaways, the big giveaways, whatever, won't go, all those kinds of things that are doable to improve, better goaltending and not the bad giveaways and not letting Anaheim score on every second power play. It's so be that team we saw the last 12 games, much like the Vegas Golden Knights go out tonight. Be that team we saw the last 12 games of the regular season.
Who would you put in good net tomorrow, Jarry or Ingram?
I was really surprised they went to Jarry, and just because I thought they committed to Connor Ingram. To answer your question, if Ingram was the guy, then to me, you go back to him. I understand more Shelobs going in for Pittsburgh in Game 4. Even Skinner had played okay. But I really hope it doesn't come down to the goaltender if they end up getting eliminated, whether real or in reality or perception. But to answer your question, I would go Connor Ingram.
Well, we were, before you came on, we were looking at the shot attempts and the shots on goal, and Dostal's save percentage isn't anything to write home about, but the Oilers are in their own end a lot. We got to touch on a couple of the series before we let you go, and thanks so much for coming on. Buffalo, Boston. Jay and I did our picks before the playoffs, guaranteed to be correct, by the way, though I was already wrong on Ottawa upsetting Carolina. We both picked Buffalo. They're kicking the crap out of them, Gord. What's going on with the Sabres?
Well, I liked when I had more jobs because I got to make more predictions and I would just change them, So I would have 4 different. So my odds were a lot better about being accurate. Elliot Friedman gets. I go way back with Elliot. He gets a kick out of my line that working when the Leaf organization wasn't very strong. I always said, if you're going to suck on the road. You cannot suck at home. That's a minimum thing. And Boston at home, Buffalo 4 goals in 10 minutes, 4 seconds. Really interesting. Buffalo had not scored a goal in the first period. That first game when they outplayed Boston, it almost looked like when they're down 2-0 wasn't going to go their way. So you're seeing it all coming together there, which is a great Buffalo story. But boy, Boston better react in game number 5, because if your season ends with 2 clunkers like that, and that's what happened with the Leafs in Florida. They went 7 games, but their last 2 home games were the worst games of the season. And that's what resonated over the summer into next year. So anyway, like I said, good on the Sabres. Good on Marco Sturm. You know what? I don't know this guy very well. I think he's done a great job coaching, and I liked his post-game comments. I like that he said, no, Jeremy Swayman should be giving crap to the guys because he showed a little bit of spunk and spirit, and so we'll see. Good, like I said, good on Buffalo, but man, oh man, I didn't expect that about a Boston Bruin team.
All right, and we got to get your thoughts on Montreal, Tampa Bay. Like I was saying, Jay and I love the series. Watching it, just the pace, the anger, the drama. I'm like, this is what a playoff series should be. 2-2, just incredibly entertaining and passionate game so far.
Oh man, you know what? Really. I kid about it when I come on NHL Morning Skate that the very best time of the year is the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we're already seeing teams fall by the wayside. But I really do think it's been as advertised. And so you look at a lot of these. So Montreal, they're tied 2-2, but their big line doesn't have an even strength goal. I know Slavkovsky had that hat trick, but they were all power play goals. So what Montreal's doing really well is Tampa Bay started in the preseason when they started fighting Florida. They said, look, we won 2 cups. If you're going to win it, you got to be bleep holes. You got to be physical. You got to be in your face. You got to steamroll them, because that's what the Panthers did to everyone, including us last year. So now they're doing that in the playoffs, and Montreal, I think, is rising to that. They're kind of learning. They're the apprentices, Take the pebble from my hand, grasshopper, like the old Kung Fu TV show way back when. Anyway, sorry, Jay. Anyway, they're that. But the one part you're seeing, even with home ice advantage and last change, your best line that they'll figure a way to get Cirelli on and they will grind your best line in a manner you don't see in the regular season. And when Edmonton started getting in the playoffs initially, you saw that with Connor McDavid, right? And not quite as strong a supporting cast. That in the playoffs, if they want to get on your best line, they will really get on your best line. And you have to figure out a different level. You ain't playing the New York Rangers and Chicago Blackhawks and San Jose Sharks and Seattle Kraken anymore. So again, 2-2. I hope it goes 7. I think it'll go 7. I wish more. I always want series to go 6 or 7, but it's been dynamite. And Montreal, man, every place is a great place to watch playoff hockey, but Montreal is really special.
Gord, I have one more question for you, and I want to, just get your perspective from someone that's a former general manager, and the contract that Jackson Lacombe signed with Anaheim Ducks. They extended him, I think, for 8 years at $9 million. Is that going to turn into one of the greatest extensions in NHL history by the time it's all said and done?
Well, it's going to be a Jack Hughes contract, right? He's sitting at 8. He's got like 1,000 years left. You see in Edmonton, you got a Darnell Nurse contract that he's a solid NHL player, but it's too much money. And, and those kind of things kind of sit there. But to answer your question, yeah. And that's the great thing about nowadays. You got to make commitments to the right players, okay? And they'll get in long term because that gives them cost certainty, gives them security. You're taking a gamble because we've seen some that have fallen by the wayside. But it's a really nice mix. And I'll tell you the other thing that really helped, and this is what San Jose, Chicago, like forget what we were talking about in Chicago. They got these great young defensemen. Well, good, maybe great, but good. But none of them are ready. And you don't have any veterans around them. Well, that even delays the process. So, you got Jacob Trouba. You picked up Carlson at the trade deadline. Those are 2 great veteran pickups to help those other guys not be the guys, much like Connor Murphy picked up, gets Darnell Nurse back to the right spot. And, when you got defensemen, especially defensemen, playing one step of where they really should be, that's problematic. But it looks like Anaheim, they got Leo Carlson coming up. Beckett Seneca, he's a neighbor as well, by the way. Anyway, whatever. So they got some very pleasant cap problems because those guys are quality young players.
All right. Well, I hope someone is shoveling your snow, though hopefully you won't see any till the fall. We had some last week here in Edmonton, but it's finally melted. Hey, Gord, we love having you. We better let you get to your hockey viewing and Blues. That's a big series coming up with the Red Sox. So that'll be fun to follow as well. We love having you on, buddy. Thanks so much for your time. I hope we can talk again throughout the postseason.
Yeah, and Jay, I'll Google if the Rolling Stones did cut a record that time with Margaret Trudeau at
Check
the
it out. I think they did.
Okay,
awesome.
I will find out. See you, gentlemen.
See you, Gord, from the morning skate on Sirius XM. Really good guest. Love. That was quite wide ranging. My goodness,
a man of the world. Yes, wow.
That's great stuff from Gord.
That guy's got a lot of cool neighbors.
He really does.
Yeah.
Coming in on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. So, good perspective on the orders. He said he'd go with Ingram. We do have the poll going in the nasty chat. It's about 2/3. And again, this is who would you start in Game 5? Not what do you think Knoblock will do. Who would you start in Game 5? It's 63% for Ingram. So that's going on in YouTube. So jump in there. While you're in on the YouTube stream, give the show a thumbs up if you haven't already.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
We're 7 thumbs away from 100. So let's get to 100 by the top of the hour, and then we can work on getting to 155.
Got a couple limericks we should get to.
Oh, sure. Let's do it.
This one comes from William Mikespear, Poet Laureate for Edmonton Sports Talk. There is a team I cheer for. I wish the PK did more. No nipples on pucks. So we're S out of luck. The call on the ice was piss poor. Well done. And another one came in from Library Pat, who says, I wanted to include focused alertness, but couldn't make it work. But here's what he sent in. The Oilers' play started out fine, but the Ducks kept looking for signs. The lead went away, bad passes, then hey, in OT, the puck crossed the line. A couple strong limericks there. Strong.
I have a limerick as well.
Oh, baby.
Because our theme is lines, right?
Lines, yes.
From point to point, straight and true. For goals, it's red. For offsides, it's blue. Foul or fair, shoot from there. Was last night's call in line or a screw?
Oh, well done.
I rest my case.
3 strong
I don't know what
limericks.
I'm resting.
I mean, what do you want more, people? You got Gord Stellick chopping it up, Reid's ripping some limericks, and we got some great audience participation. Life's good, hey?
And of course, you could participate by texting the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox at 780-218-9999. Check out the River Cree mobile app, free to download, get exclusive offers and promotions, get show tickets, make reservations for hotel rooms and restaurants. It's safe, secure, and it's easy to use. We're going into the final hour. Please stick around. We got fired up for Gemco. I'm going to attempt the words of the day for the Edmonton Public Library. You'll hear some more comments from Oilers head coach Chris Knoblock. Here's the 5 o'clock break.
2 guys and a goalie.
This is the beginning of the Nuge downfall. Sad face.
Fire it. There's still some good hockey left in Nuge. I have faith in Burnaby Nuge to pick up the slack next.
Well, I ran him out of town earlier this morning.
Oh, did you?
I mean, I was.
I mean, you put out.
You know how people are.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said, great job. Happy hour. Your boss said, per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Your home for great performances is
the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd.
9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino.
Excitement, bet on it.
The Blue Jays are back for their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences or tackling backyard spring projects, get the space you need with Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
The Penguins and Flyers go at it in just a moment. Game 5 of their series. Philadelphia leading 3-1 with another chance to eliminate Sidney Crosby and the Penguins. And after that, 7:30 puck drop between the Mammoth and the Golden Knights out in Utah. Utah leading 2-1 in that series. To basketball, Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves is week to week with a hyperextension and bone bruise in his left knee. He suffered that after going down Game 4 against the Nuggets. It's Minnie and Denver matching up tonight. Game 5, T-Wolves leading 3-1. Meanwhile, OKC can sweep the Suns out in Phoenix. Plus, the Pistons look to tie their series at 2 against the Magic. In baseball, Jays Red Sox go at it first of 3 games in their series. Dylan Cease on the bump for Toronto. Boston countering with Rangers. Suarez first pitch momentarily, and staying with the Jays, the team has placed Max Scherzer on the 15-day injured list with a forearm issue and ankle injury. Chase Lee being recalled from the AAA Bisons in response. And live now in the majors, 2 games underway, top of the 5th. Rays, Guardians, runless, and it's a 1-0 game in favor of the Pirates against the Cardinals, bottom 2nd inning. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The 3rd and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, what have you learned today? I learned that NHL referees get $31,000 per round, according to Scouting the Refs.
I learned that the Rolling Stones were the demise of the Trudeau family.
I kind of remember that, reading about it early in my life.
I had heard things about Margaret Trudeau.
Right.
But I don't know.
I just learned that was a thing.
I learned that Coob uses parking lot lines from across the parking lot to help navigate him into his parking stall.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds far-fetched. The direct stall across the way. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it works most times. 90%. I think I'm 9 for 10.
I'm also learning that 57% of our listeners would start Connor Ingram.
And we are over our minimum threshold of 100 thumbs on YouTube. So now let's try to get to 100. And, part of the discussion about last night's call, too, was how Jake Brink announced things. So I edited this together, what he said before and after the video review.
Okay.
Could mean the series. We have a good goal on the ice. With a call to series. After review, the puck completely crossed the goal.
So again, he didn't say, a little bit of Jack Michaels in there. It's courtesy Sportsnet for that audio. He didn't say the call on the ice stands.
Right.
Or he didn't say he definitively said the puck crossed the line, that they determined that the puck crossed the line. So they had to make a call on the ice. They called it a goal. Again, probably didn't handle that well in the initial stages. But except for that, they really kind of did do what they're supposed to. They got together. They talked about it. They announced the call. They went to video review, and then they announced the video review.
Mm-hmm.
So really, it's just the initial stage of sort of his initial uncertainty that maybe you could criticize.
And it has been rightfully criticized.
Yeah.
But at the same point, even though you cannot see white in between the puck and the goal line because Tristan Jarry's skate was covering it, common sense prevailed, right? Which Reid, I know that was a tough spot for Oilers fans last night. At least that was handled properly. Like they didn't have, because Elliot Friedman said that there was no extra video or extra camera shots that the command center was privy to that fans weren't seeing on the broadcast.
Yeah. Zedmo says it's not for them to determine the arc of the puck that they can't see. Actually, it is. They know how big the puck is. So Zedmo, if you're saying if the puck's a foot over the goal line, but part of it is obscured by the goalie's skate, it shouldn't be allowed? Come on. Brother Morg says the back ref waved the goal off. I did not see that. I don't think that he did, quite frankly. I don't know what you were looking at. Send me the video.
Well, and that is the question, though, Reid, is if this process is handled differently, where that referee, most people would agree, probably didn't have a good sight line on that.
Right.
And came in and kind of said, okay, the play's over. if that ref thought it was a goal, you know how amped up these guys get to call these big goals in the playoffs. They'd be pointing and that's a good goal, good goal. And then all of a sudden they say they've got a good goal. Well, if that is called, lost sight, we can't declare if it was a goal or not. Let's review this. I guess, did you say earlier they had to say goal or no goal, right?
They got to make a call on the ice.
Okay, so if you didn't see it,
so if the replay is inconclusive, they have a call.
Right.
Right.
If it was called no goal on the ice, that's, I think, the biggest burr in the side of Oilers fans.
I think it still would have been called a goal on review.
That is then, Reid, okay, I think so too, but the NHL has a history of making situations like that.
Oh, sure. You never know.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, again, see if Jake Brink keeps working. He's worth another $31,000 to the league in the next round. I don't know. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Tap 25 has their happy hour, $5.25 drinks, all beers, including bottled, draft, import, domestic, select premium well highballs, and select premium wine served at Tap 25, Center Bar, Onyx, and on the casino floor. It's available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. All right. Zedmo says it wasn't in the back of the net under his foot. It was on the line. I mean, Zedmo, I'm not like seriously, man, believe whatever you want. The puck was not on the line.
Well, reverse the situation. If that happened at the other end of the ice,
you'd say, well, we can't see the puck, but we know that it's
know it's over the line.
Yeah. I mean, but you can't argue with people who've decided that they don't want to believe in reality, or that Gary Bettman called in and said, "Let's screw the Oilers over."
Well, didn't Sportsnet put something out that went very detailed with AI to show the size of the puck crossing it? It crossed the line by this many pixels.
Yeah,
I mean that was on EST Afternoons earlier. Maybe if you want to go back and watch it, they showed it right on the on the broadcast here. I don't think that I don't know how you can question if that puck was over the line or not. But I guess, to each their own.
Well, yeah, I mean, if people want to walk around being wrong and live in an alternate reality, that's their right. I mean, freedom, baby.
Coop's got it up here on the screen.
This is who made this?
Sportsnet did this, right, Coob?
Well, it's snapped from the Sportsnet broadcast. Somebody ran it through an AI generator. It was courtesy of Twitter. I don't remember the gentleman exactly who posted this, but this is a full AI analysis of the goal and how it crossed over the line. They have everything sort of highlighted in a certain way.
Yeah, so it was a close call, but Zedmo, but come on, man, it's either in or it isn't. It was in. I mean, close is a lot of things in hockey are close. Crape says, in the end, the game should not have gotten to that call on the ice. The Oilers should have been better. Well, yeah, the Oilers are getting beat. And why did the Ducks get that bounce? Because they're doing a lot of fundamental things correctly, properly, that the Oilers are not. They are beating the Oilers, and the Oilers are not repairing things. Old Gil says it was in, but without a 100% clear image. What I'm worried about is if a puck is in a glove and it goes in the net, how are they going to tell if it's in or out? So here's the thing.
Let's get fired up
with
about
the
this.
glove. Yeah, we're fired up. Thanks for reminding me, Jay. Well, a lot of people are fired up for
I'm
Gemco
fired up
Fireplaces.
too.
Proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. Yeah, that's the thing. If the puck is in the goalie's glove and the whole glove goes into the net, they will call that a goal. If it's in his glove, but only part of the glove goes into the net and they can't tell exactly where the puck is, in those cases, they wave it off. It's tough. Some of the decisions are tough. I think that was a tough decision last night, but I think it was all the way over the line.
It's not tough. It's not tough. The NHL needs to adapt. Why there is not goal line technology in the NHL baffles me. I've said this since we started this show. How can there not? They have the sensors in the puck. I can tell immediately with NHL Edge how fast that Gauthier shot was.
Right.
Immediately. You're telling me you cannot have tracking some sort of... I mean, there's people much smarter than I that could probably look at this and say, yeah, that technology is already used. I mean, Reid, in baseball, you can tell by the hair of my chinny chin if it's a ball or strike. And those balls don't even have sensors in them. Right? This is all cameras and high-speed cameras. The fact that the NHL doesn't use this technology is embarrassing, quite honestly. It is embarrassing. Pucks out. Hey, what about pucks out of play? Did that puck actually hit the glass on the way out?
Mm-hmm.
Was it tipped by the opposing team prior to leaving the ice surface or leaving the rink? This is all very easily handled with technology. As Soderblom puts
Penguins
Pittsburgh
up
1-0. I just don't understand that, Reid.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know why they can't do something like where the goalposts light up. And then you could still review things to make sure or whatever. But
I'll tell you one thing. If they don't have that camera in the crossbar looking straight down.
Well, that's the thing. That was the only view. Like the first few shots, first couple shots they showed of it, I was like, there's no way that's in.
Like the side angle from outside the net. No, you're
and
not.
Even the one from kind of where the goal light is, looking down.
Worse.
Yeah, it
because
did.
it's at a bit of an angle.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree with everybody who's saying it shouldn't have been called a goal on the ice. I would agree with that. I have trouble believing that Jake Brink, well, I guess he thought he did. I mean, it's one of the people I talked to today said even Connor Murphy, black stick, reaching into the net to control a black puck. Did he see the puck? Did he see the stick?
Right.
I mean, and it happened, and we've all seen it now in slow motion.
Yeah.
But it was happening incredibly fast in that moment. Having said that, I don't think the Oilers got screwed. I don't think the league is out to get the Oilers. I think it was a close call that Anaheim earned. And there are bigger issues as to how the Oilers are playing or not playing in this series.
Reid, if you don't want to get beat on a last-second Hail Mary where your defensive back takes a bad pass interference call and sets up a first
or
goal,
or whatever,
and they score on the last play of the game to win, don't put yourself in that situation. If this game shouldn't be there. The Oilers were up 2-0. They had control of that game, and they simply let Anaheim back in. That is the problem. Far too passive. No killer instinct.
Yeah. Well, again, the overall, I mean, there are a lot of stats to look at. The shots on goal in the series, this is all strengths. I mean, when you hear someone say Corsi, and I talk about it sometimes, that's 5-on-5, which I did talk about. The shots on goal 5-on-5 are even. The shot attempts 5-on-5 are plus 22 for the Ducks. Overall shot attempts in this series are 267 for the Ducks, 227 for the Oilers. So those aren't shots on net, but those are shots going to the net. And as we've seen, there have been goals scored in this series on pucks that were probably going wide for both teams, but they hit somebody in front and the loose puck got banged in.
Yep.
So here's the thing. So over 10 games, the Ducks have directed 40 more pucks at the Oilers' net than Edmonton has directed at theirs. That's how you win a 7-game series. Maybe you don't win every game, but you keep going. You wear them down. You keep chipping away, and maybe that's the most discouraging thing, Jay. And we talked a lot about maybe how are the Oilers out of gas? Do they like it, or whatever? But the Oilers just don't seem to have that mentality. They don't seem to have the mentality to be like, okay, we might be playing these guys for 2 weeks. We got to make every play count. We got to play hard on every shift. We can't give up anything easy. And I get the frustration with fans because the Oilers have done this before. I said this to Tom last night. After the Oilers eliminated Dallas, somebody asked Peter DeBoer if the Stars were better than the previous year. And he's like, I'm not sure that we were, but he goes, let me tell you something. This Oilers team is better than the previous year. Like, they checked us harder than last year. Now, again, I know in the end against Florida it didn't work out again, but this team knows how to do it. So what's the problem? Is it coaching? Is it fatigue? Is it injuries? I think there are injuries.
That's also.
I know a lot of it is on McDavid and Draisaitl. Let me say this to everybody: how noticeable is Zach Hyman in this series relative to how he usually plays? Now the Ducks have injured guys too. I'm not saying it's just injuries, but I think that's a factor. But something is.
Connor McDavid does not look like Connor McDavid.
Miss with this Oilers team,
right?
Right. But
I think Leon Draisaitl has played not too bad, Reid. I mean, that second line is going. They've outshot the Ducks 33-16. Draisaitl centering Podkolzin and Kapanen. They've outscored them 5-0.
This is the Oilers outscoring the Ducks.
Their second line, Draisaitl, Kapanen, Podkolzin.
Right. Well, that's the first line in this series.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, it turned into that pretty quick. Reid, what about, you say, McDavid, Hyman. A lot of this has to go towards Anaheim, the Ducks, and how successful they have been and how they've willed their way to this position. They've outplayed the Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who Jackson Lacombe? We just talked about him with Gord Stellick. Do you know he leads the playoffs right now in points with 8? Okay. Do you know he leads the playoffs in shot attempts differential? You were talking
so for the team.
No, in the playoffs.
Not his personal shots though. When he's on the ice,
he has the number one shot attempts differential at plus 48.
Right.
He's taken 118
when the Ducks when he's on the ice. The Ducks have taken 118 shots. Yeah.
Right, and then it's had 70 against. Okay, Anaheim has 8 players, Reid, in this shot attempt differential who are plus 8 or more. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton's highest ranked player in that category is Kasperi Kapanen at plus 7.
So there's more evidence. The Ducks have the puck more and are more willing to shoot it.
Yeah. Like that is the story.
Yeah.
That tells a lot.
And again, after Edmonton went up 3-2 yesterday, Edmonton had an exciting rush by McDavid and pretty much nothing else. No, they could have won the game on that rush. I mean, that's what McDavid does. That's what the great players do. They could have won the game on that rush because it was 3-3 when it happened. Anaheim had already tied it. But generally, it was just, oh man, the Oilers got the lead, but here comes Anaheim again. The Oilers can't keep it out of their own end. Jarry's under pressure. They need Jarry to do this. Oh, Edmonton can't get the puck out. Well, Edmonton got the puck out, but they gave it away in the neutral zone. Anaheim's coming back again.
Well, and here's a key as to why, Reid, 32 other teams have done it. They've come back from 3-1 in a series to win it in 7. Connor McDavid hasn't been himself. He's had 4 points this series. Jackson Lacombe has not been on the ice for one of them. All of Connor McDavid's points have come with Jackson Lacombe off the ice.
Right.
So, welcome home ice advantage tomorrow night. If you're Chris Knoblock, when Lacombe is on, McDavid's off, play that game. Play that matchup game because it's clearly a problem for the Oilers, that being Jackson Lacombe.
We're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Why wait for a good time? Started early at the Canadian Brewhouse. Happy hour runs Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m. Deals starting at $3.99. Your couch can't compete with the Canadian Brewhouse. Of course, if you are checking us out on YouTube today, click the thumbs up button if you have not done so already. We are over 100, trying to get to the playoff threshold of 155. Well, we still need about 38 thumbs to do that, so get in there and click if you haven't already. You'll hear more from Oilers head coach Chris Knoblock. We have words of the day ahead as well. Here's the Coob.
2 games tonight in the NHL. 1 game midway through the opening frame. Penguins up 1-0 on the Flyers in Game 5. Backs up against the wall. Pittsburgh trailing 3-1 in the series to Philadelphia. And at 7:30, the Mammoth and Golden Knights meet in Salt Lake City. Game 4, their series. Mammoth up 2-1 in the best of 7. To basketball, Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves is week to week with a hyperextension and bone bruise in his left knee after going down in Game 4 against the Nuggets. Mini Denver hit the court for Game 5 tonight. T-Wolves up 3-1. Meanwhile, OKC can sweep the Suns out in Phoenix. Plus, the Pistons look to tie their series at 2 against the Magic. In baseball, the Jays and Red Sox are live. First game of a 3-game series, top of the second, runless in the game. And earlier, the Jays placed Max Scherzer on the 15-day injured list with a forearm issue and ankle injury. Chase Lee being recalled from the AAA Bisons in response. 2 other games are live in the majors. Pirates 2-0 over the Cardinals, bottom 3rd and top of the 6th. Down by 2, the Rays against the Guardians. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on following a break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
One shopper. Finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase. One donation.
One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
The power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
The oil stream.
Is McDavid going to be held off the score sheet? Probably not, because it's so rare.
Surprised, buddy.
Yeah, there's so many elements to that game, like you were outlining, and then a few more, that it really wasn't a typical Oilers playoff game. And also the fact that the depth scoring got the job done for the Oilers is another sign it wasn't a typical Oilers playoff game.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
The Canadian Brewhouse is not a quiet place to watch the game. We're a goal horn blaring, tankard raising, stranger hugging, lose your voice kind of a place. No inside voices, no empty seats, no bad angles. Just playoff hockey, the way it's supposed to feel. With your friends, the ones you brought and the ones you just met. If you want quiet, stay home. If you want to feel it, book your spot now in the loudest room in the city. This is our house, the Canadian Brewhouse.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Pittsburgh leading Philly 1-0. About 8.5 minutes into the first period there. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app with hundreds of player prop bets. Oh, and we have one on the biggest leagues, NHL, NFL, CFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. And it also has Jay's Play of the Day.
Yes, where we will go to the Avalanche.
The Mammoth.
Vegas Golden Knights at the Mammoth. Kyler Yamamoto, 3 points, 3 games. Reid selected him as the greatest former Oiler of the season. So we're riding with Kyler Yamamoto. 1 or more points that's been boosted to plus 220. Head over to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on EST specials. You can also find all these plays on the Play Alberta app. The inbox I can't open.
What happened?
I
Just
don't
went
know.
down?
It's looking at me funny whenever I click on the page. So my apologies if you've sent in some texts. I have not got them.
Coop, see if you can get it.
But I have got a couple limericks, one from Tube Socks and one from Mex Bezozu. Let's start with Tube Socks. There once was a line. Oh, is this quite capricious?
Capricious, I think is how you say it.
There once was a line quite capricious that haunted the Oilers. Pernicious. A skate in the way, kept the puck hid from play. That foul mistress proved most malicious.
Well, that's pretty creative.
A lot of issues words. This one, okay. I've got notes, Reid. I've got director notes here from Mex Bezozu.
Oh, my goodness.
Oilers are on the brink of elimination. Who knew it'd be due to a modal completion? A fine line between a loss and a win. But my team is still standing like Sir Elton John. Elimination
What happened
completion,
to Elton
John.
Oh, God, I don't know. That's tough. Did you read Waddy's earlier, or did he only send it to me? Coob pulls into the parking lot, ready to back in the perfect spot. Lines don't match. Oops, a scratch. Now insurance will go up a lot. That's from Waddy in Cloverdale.
Clever.
Coob, I learn more and more about you every day. And I'm getting more, it's more and more troubling.
I'm sorry about that, Reid. I learn a lot about myself every day, too.
I'm not... Don't
What do
be
they say?
sorry.
Coob's like the onion of Edmonton sports talk.
Keep
So many
peeling it
layers.
away, and if you cut them, you'll cry.
Yes.
Sounds accurate, yeah.
Kevin in the Nasty Chat says the Oilers are gassed and hurt, so they push for a while, but they can't sustain it. Game 5, they're done, just the way I see it. Big Uke says Podkolzin, Kapanen, and Draisaitl have been the best 3 forwards. What is that? Saucer Kabasi?
Yeah.
Hyman is hurt as much as the others. Copper Girl says the NHL likes controversy. I don't know if they do or not. I think they just accept it.
That's good for ratings. How many times as you're scrolling X have you seen that still image of the puck with Tristan Jarry covering it?
Right.
Okay, let me ask you this, Reid. If the Oilers can find a victory tomorrow night, is this series officially back on?
What? Well, it's on until it's over, man. Like,
okay.
I don't... You know what I think.
What if they come out and play an Oilers game that you could say, wow, they really fixed a lot of their deficiencies? Does that...
No. It'll all feel the same.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been... How long have they played well for... Or how many times did they play well for extended stretches? Hardly ever.
Well, they need another 3-game win streak, Reid.
Yeah,
they were able to do that.
It would only be their second, or it'd only be their third 3-game win streak of the season, because they had a 3-gamer, which they followed up with 4 consecutive losses. Then they had the 5-gamer late in the season. I mean, Anaheim is also a streaky team, but when they've been riding high, they really ride high, and I just think they're locked in. Like, for the Oilers to win, Anaheim's level of play would have to drop, and I have not seen any evidence of that happening, or that it will happen in the short term.
Fair point.
Like, to me, the Oilers have to do something to throw Anaheim off their game, and whatever the Oilers do hasn't been enough. The Oilers have scored first every game. They're 1-3.
Yeah, but they're last in goals against per game at 5. They're last with their PK, 50%. They're second last in goals allowed in 5-on-5 with 11.
Mm-hmm.
They're last with goals against in the second period with 9.
Yeah, that's been bad.
Their team save percentage is .850.
Yeah.
The Oilers can improve on that. Whether they can
They can, but all season long we've been saying, well, they can improve and they can improve.
But all season long, this stats that we're seeing, Reid, were not the case. Their PK was bad, but then it improved from the trade deadline on.
Sure.
This is uncharacteristic. So in the immediate timeline here, can they flip it? And I would agree with you in saying, what would lead Oilers fans to believe they can?
Right.
Or does Anaheim fall flat and allow the Oilers to get back in this series?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Well, that's the thing. Like, you'd think at some point Anaheim's inexperience would catch up with them a little bit. It hasn't looked that way at all. Now, tomorrow, again, a lot of Anaheim players will be in a new situation, trying to finish off a 7-game series. But the Oilers haven't been playing with the requisite detail and passion to indicate that they can stay alive.
I mean, we've got the Philadelphia-Pittsburgh game on the side here, and watching this play, it's get the puck up ice, chip it into the other team's zone, and go to work.
Yeah.
It's back and forth. Not seeing much of that from the Edmonton Oilers.
No, I'm not saying that the Oilers want it easy, but they would prefer it easy, I think.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they thought it would be an easier path at the start of it. But I mean, you look at a player like Connor McDavid. Does his body language suggest a lot of positive vibes to you?
Well, no, but he kind of always looks like that, though.
I know, but it's almost at a different level. And for all we know, if the Oilers exit the playoffs here and it comes out that he's been dealing with something a lot more serious than we could think, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, fair enough. But that's why there's just so many things that make me feel like the Oilers can't come back. Chris Knoblock was asked today, do you have to coach belief back into the team?
Yeah, I believe there's some of that. That's the coach's responsibility, and I think that belief is coming on how are we approaching these games, how are we going to alter our game just a little bit, what adjustments are we making. Credit to them. Anaheim this season has been a very hot and cold team. When they're playing well, they're a very good team. You look at the streaks that they've gone on. I believe that they're playing very good hockey right now, and we got to find a way how to break them.
Well, they haven't been able to do that by any means. Also, Knoblock was asked if the team might be worn down from the past 2 seasons.
I think the energy level's there. I think we're ready. Obviously, there has been a lot of hockey, but I don't think that should be warranted as an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's not going to say that.
No. I don't think that should be warranted as an excuse either.
No. If you're on YouTube, click that thumbs up button. Let's see how high we can go. I think people are feeling. I think they're feeling it. I think they're too upset to give us thumbs up. I don't think we're going to get to 155 unless someone can prove me wrong. Knoblock also asked about the Ducks always finding a way to come back.
Absolutely. Credit to them. They've this season, I think they set an NHL record for most come from behind wins in the last 5 or 2 minutes or something like that. And obviously there's not any quit or belief that they're never out of a game. It's very important that we stay the course and not giving those opportunities. And probably the biggest opportunities that we're giving them are for their power play.
So the power play goals in this series, 6 for Anaheim, 3 for the Oilers. Anaheim also has a shorthanded goal. So 7-3 on special teams for Anaheim. Despite some of the Oilers' other struggles, that is a big reason why they're down 3-1 in this series. I would take McDavid off the PK, especially if he's hobbled. Don't put him in that situation. He's not a great penalty killer. You have other guys like Dickinson you brought in to kill penalties. Let them go and do that dirty work. I mean, you need McDavid to try to do other things, do things 5-on-5 and score on the power play or set up goals on the power play. I would take McDavid off the PK. I don't know if they're going to do that. But it's not as if they're hurting the PK by taking him off. I mean, the PK is terrible. I know he's not on the ice for all the goals, but I would take McDavid off the PK. That's first thing right there.
Yes.
But I never would have put him on to begin with. In the Nasty Chat on YouTube, we have a poll going. Who would you start in Game 5, Oilers versus Ducks? Connor Ingram, 55%. Tristan Jarry, 45%. I did not like the idea of Jarry going in yesterday, but I think now that he played a pretty good game, I would be fine with him going back in. He looked very, very good. Somebody can't find it now. Somebody posted in the chat that watching Jarry earlier in the season, a lot of times you could kind of tell when he was nervous. He did not look that way yesterday. He looked comfortable yesterday. Oh, Nolan from St. Albert. Jarry passed the eye test when he's on. Big and athletic, fluid athlete. You can see when he has nerves, and you couldn't see it last night.
Fair.
Yeah, there was never, oh my God, he looks unsteady, or oh, he stopped it, but he didn't know where it was. He looked very in control last night. Now, as has Ingram when he plays well, and I don't blame Ingram for the losses in this series, but I mean, you need a goaltender who can maybe keep you in a game as long as possible. Jarry just did that. I mean, I don't think any of the goals on Jarry are questionable. I mean, the overtime goal, I mean, sure, you'd like it to not squeak through, but it changes direction off his own defenseman. It's kind of a funny one. I would be comfortable if they went back with Jarry. I also wouldn't flip out if they put Ingram in. The goaltending is extremely important, but there are other reasons the Oilers are trailing in this series besides the goaltending. I mean, they have asked their goaltenders to do a lot. We've gone over the shots on goal and the shot attempts. We've gone over the save percentages. I mean, Ingram's is now 849. It looks really ugly after Game 3. Dostal's is 878. I mean, aren't the Ducks the second worst defensive team so far in the postseason? Well, maybe Boston is now. I didn't look after yesterday's game, but it's,
yeah, Boston's up there in a lot of these categories.
Like the Oilers have still scored 15 goals in 4 games. That should be enough to have you a 3-1 lead, not be down 3-1.
That's more than enough, Reid.
So this is why I'm saying the Ducks are no defensive wizards, or they're no wizards at preventing goals. But you gotta pressure them. You gotta make them feel the heat. You gotta put a little bit of doubt in their minds. And I thought the Oilers maybe had done it after Game 1, but Anaheim's just too solid to this point.
Just a note on Connor McDavid and his use on the penalty kill. He's the 4th highest forward in terms of shorthanded time on ice per game.
For the Oilers.
Who's
above him?
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Kasperi Kapanen, and Jason Dickinson.
Okay. Well, per game.
Per game.
Because Dickinson's missed 2 games.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of McDavid being there, especially if he's banged up. And he doesn't know where to go. Like, he just pursues the puck and tries to steal it.
Well, it's a lot of trying to fly the zone.
Right.
And catch the team by surprise, and he's gone. Right? But I think for this team, especially now, it's just get your best defenders on the ice. Period. Try and stifle this penalty or power play.
Well, that's the thing. We are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Head to the Canadian Brewhouse for your chance to win Oilers playoff tickets. While you're at it, enjoy an ice-cold tankard of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. See in-store for details, and please drink responsibly. Of course, you can get in touch, 780-218-9999. You can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. If you've not given us a thumbs up on YouTube, please do so in the next 15 minutes. Let's see how high we can go. We're at 116. Let's try to at least get to 130. I mean, come on. It started hot. Now it's slowed down. And we'll have words of the day for the Edmonton Public Library coming up as well.
games in the NHL tonight. 3:40 left to go in the opening frame. Flyers, Penguins, Game 5 shots dead even at 8 apiece with Pittsburgh having the lead. Elmer Soderblom is first of the playoffs, assisted by Anthony Mantha. And Wotherspoon, 7:30 puck drop. Golden Knights, Mammoth, they go at it. Mammoth with the lead in the series 2-1. They drop the puck out in Salt Lake City. To basketball, Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves is week to week with a hyperextension and bone bruise in his left knee. He went down in Game 4 against the Nuggets. It's Minnie and Denver hitting the court tonight. Game 5, T-Wolves up 3-1. Meanwhile, OKC can sweep the Suns out in Phoenix with a win tonight. Plus, the Pistons look to tie their series at 2 side against the Magic. Live now for the Blue Jays. Bottom third inning runless against the Red Sox. First of 3 total games in their series. 2 other games live around baseball. Bottom fourth, Cardinals down 2-0 to the Pirates, and it's a 2-1 game in favor of the Guardians. Top of the 7th over the Rays. Back to Toronto. Jays have placed Max Scherzer on the 15-day injured list with a forearm issue and ankle injury. Chase Lee has been recalled from the Bisons in response. This sports update is brought to you by the Ranch Golf Club. The Ranch Golf Club delivers premier conditions, top-notch service, and unmatched value every round. It's why they're Alberta's top choice for corporate golf events. Visit theranchgolf.com today to find out more. Words of the day up next here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Mick Kern from Sirius XM NHL, and we said in Game 2 Connor will figure it out. He did not. Again, we got to give some credit to the Ducks here on what they're doing to Connor McDavid.
The Ducks have shown what you can do, but superior teams still find a way through. I still think Edmonton's superior to Anaheim. I give the Ducks a lot of credit. If you want goals, watch this series. And I don't think the goaltending's been bad.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
All right, thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. First period just ending in Pittsburgh. Penguins up 1-0 on the Flyers. Penguins trying to stay alive again. It was 3-0 in the series for the Flyers, now 3-1. That'd be something if the Penguins could extend it. And later on tonight, Utah and Vegas. Blue Jays under. What's that Blue Jays score again, Coop?
Last I checked, let me see here. It was 0 across the board.
Zilch is up.
Top of the fourth.
Zilch is up. I don't think anybody's ever said that before, and I'll probably never say it again.
Nils.
Nils up.
Nils up.
And then there's a guy named Nils like, yes, you called?
Yes.
What am I up for?
'Tis Nils here.
What else happened on your weekend, buddy?
Donuts.
Yes, donuts.
Zeros. What happened on my week? I was following my children around.
Sport dadding it?
Sport dadding my middle daughter, Rose, and her Sherwood Park Fever spring basketball team took down the Rocky Mountain Hoops.
Oh, wow.
Tournament at Seville.
Good.
Undefeated.
Good stuff.
Obviously. It was good. Grace had a tryout this weekend. It was lots going on. But, I mean, what else do you want to do? That snow was incredible.
Yeah, it was gross.
I've said on the show, I have a skid steer that I clear my driveway with.
Right.
The snow was so wet and heavy that this skid steer, I've never had this happen where like I had to move piles half a pile at a time.
Oh, no way.
It was so heavy and wet. And it's got a lot of jam.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did because later that afternoon the driveway was cleared. So I could bring the skid steer over and do your driveway one day, Reid.
You could.
Probably with one shot.
I don't know if that's necessary, but I think we're okay.
Just backblade it once.
Just
done.
once. It's supposed to be better later on this week. Well, even 13 tomorrow. Well, 21 on Thursday. That's nice.
That is nice.
Hopefully the snow is
perfect temperature.
No longer coming. Okay. By the way, portions of this hour are presented by Lamley's. Built for the job, made with quality craftsmanship and designed for job protection with cowboy-worthy durability. Lamley's workwear combines safety with all-day comfort, featuring brands like Ariat Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed to withstand tough conditions and deliver performances across every job site. Visit lamleys.com to make your workday better. You know what? My program crashed.
LAMMLES.
There it is. Jay did the jingle. Good stuff.
Yeah. I got your back.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our words of the day for Edmonton Public Library. Your free EPL library card can do more than you might expect, from books, movies, and video games to digital resources and creative spaces and learning opportunities. There's something for everyone across Edmonton. Sign up online at epl.ca/signup or visit any of EPL's 21 locations to get started today. Yes, it is
the word of the day
to get a library
Reid
card.
and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
You know, we forgot to, we should have been celebrating Dustin all day today.
It's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
LAMMLES.
I got it going.
That jingle was for you, Dustin.
There it is.
I know you're probably getting spoiled or driving your kids around to sporting events.
He's having a chicken tender party.
Is he?
Well, I don't know. That'd just be funny.
It wouldn't be surprising. Okay, let's do this. First word of the day, Reid. Arboreal. Arboreal.
Arboreal. ARBOREAL. Back half. Or arboreal is a type of forest. Do I have to be more specific?
I don't know.
I know there's an arboreal forest. I probably should be more specific. I was trying to get away with it. It's okay. It's a northern forest.
No,
Okay.
stop now.
Okay.
It's an adjective. Arboreal is a formal and literary word used to describe something that relates to trees.
Oh, it just relates to trees.
But you said forest. That relates to trees.
I don't know if I should get a full point, though.
Yeah, I'm going to...
it's a little shady, like the shade of a tree, like arboreal shade.
Yeah. I'm going to give you 0.8.
Oh, that much?
Yeah.
Okay.
1.8 out of 2.
Okay, that's fine.
Second word of the day. Onerous. Onerous. Oh,
how do you spell this? Oh, crap. Onerous? Dun, da, da, da. And this is something that is extremely difficult or taxing, like an onerous task of carrying a couch upstairs. Oh! That's the Nielsen Chewbacca noise. That must be really special.
3.8 out of 4. Not bad.
Not bad.
Onerous means involving, imposing, or constituting a burden. It typically describes something that is difficult and unpleasant to do or deal with.
Right.
Nailed it, buddy.
I think I more or less got the spirit of it, especially with the example about moving the couch upstairs.
Yes.
So that's pretty good.
Well done.
All right, we got to go. Live programming resumes at 6 a.m. tomorrow with the Nielsen Show. It's also on 95.7 Cruise FM. This show is extended by half an hour tomorrow until 6:30, and at 6:30 tomorrow night, live from Ice House, Tom Gazzola, GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. On behalf of Zach Kubish and Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Have a great evening.